member of Wiki Ladies organization. It is my honor to welcome all of you today to the empowering sessions, The Leading Edge and Don't Think, Just Do. I would now request Ms. Minal, our chairperson, to kindly accompany our distinguished guests, Mr. Rahul Kapoor and Mr. Varun Agarwal, to the dais.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Rahul Kapoor. Mr. Kapoor is an inspirational speaker in India and an author. He speaks in the area of peak performance, teamwork, and relationships. His customized content, which is a combination of psychology, science, and spirituality, is delivered to hundreds of prominent organizations, including many Fortune 500 companies, resulting in increased sales revenue, superior customer service, and operational excellence. Mr. Varun Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal is an entrepreneur, a best-selling author, a motivational speaker, and a filmmaker too. He has given over 500 talks in 8 different countries at the top corporations and colleges. His talks and videos have been seen by over 25 million people globally, and he has a following of over 500,000 people. May I now request Ms. Minal Jain to initiate this wonderful session and address the audience with her opening remarks.
Thank you for repeating. It's always I ask again, no? Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. So let's all work so smart that our signatures will be called autographs. So much to soak from all these dump yards of information scattered all around us. To help us see through clearly, we have with us today Rahul Kapoor, an inspirational speaker who is a combination of psychology, science and spirituality. Along with him we have Mr. Varun Agarwal, an entrepreneur, motivational speaker and filmmaker. Don't go by his age and face at all. We may see a flurry of creative airwaves in this room today. We may not walk out the same as we were before coming here. Please tune in. I would like to thank Villa Interior, House of Luxury Furniture and Lighting for the support for today's session, and Chandra Enterprises Private Limited for their support. Please block your calendar for our annual session and change of guard in the last week of April. Natasha will be taking over for me. Friends, as someone said so simply, don't seek, don't search, don't demand, don't ask, just relax. If you relax, it comes. If you relax, it's there. If you relax, you start vibrating with it. That it is simply this moment. Thank you so much. And I request Varun to take over first, followed by Rahul then. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Our past chairpersons and committee members to come for a group picture with our guests.
All you wonderful and beautiful ladies of FLO, I am so happy and so honored to be here. Before we get started, I think all of y'all should give a big round of applause to yourselves. Can we do that? Yeah. You know, I really think one of the main reasons why India still hasn't become a superpower is because women still don't have the rights that they deserve. And the day we give women the rights that they deserve, India will be the biggest and the best country in the world. I always believe that every human being is smart enough and knowledgeable enough to know what they have to do with their life. So I'm not here to tell you what to do, and I'm not here to teach you what to do. But I'm here to tell you my story, and to tell you what I did and how I did it. And I hope at the end of it, some of you can take back something from it. Now, throughout my life, everyone around me, right, always taught me this one word: think. Varun, you have to think before you do anything in life. If you don't think, you won't be successful at all. My mom, my family, my teachers, my dog, everyone was like, you need to think. So I began to think. But I soon realized that this one word is causing me more harm than anything else. Then I came across these two words. And I soon realized that these two words are really helping me do what I want to do. So I'm going to tell you guys my story about how these two words, don't think, itna mat socho, has helped me achieve what I want to do. When I was in school, I would think before I would raise my hand to ask the teacher a question. I would think before doing anything out of the box. All of that thinking got me into a lot of trouble because I didn't end up doing anything at all. But then, in the 11th standard, I became extremely fascinated with the concept of filmmaking. The fact that you can take a small little handycam and show the rest of the world what's inside your head. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I started making short films with my mom, my dog, my cat, whoever was willing to act in them, and started showing to whoever was willing to see them. Then, at the end of 12th standard, I came up with this really stupid idea that I should be a filmmaker. Stupid because in India, if you want to be anything other than an engineer or a doctor, you're considered to be a terrorist, right? So I walked up to my mom and her best friend Anu auntie, telling them that I want to be a filmmaker. So who's Anu auntie? Anu auntie is that friend of your mom who's more interested in your life than yours. What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you eating? When are you living? When are you going to die? She has zero concerns about her life. She's only concerned about you, right? And she's more concerned about you than her own mom. So Anu auntie was like this major obstacle. So I walked up to them and I said I wanted to be a filmmaker. The moment they heard that, this is the expression they gave me. They were like, what? Filmmaking? What is that? Ye nahi ho sakta. And I come from a traditional Marwari family, but even though we were born and brought up in Bangalore, my mom wanted me to become a software engineer and all of that. And I have a strong feeling she wanted me to do all of that so that I could get some dowry. But what happened was, my mom and Anu auntie, they made me do this. They made me think, maybe I won't be a successful filmmaker. Maybe I won't make enough money. Maybe I'll fail, right? And maybe I won't get any dowry. So this one word got me into a lot of trouble because it got me to this. So I, like every other Indian kid in the world, got into engineering, thanks to their parents, right? And I realized I hated it. Every minute, every second, and I was doing a degree and I was studying a subject that I had zero interest in, zero knowledge about, and I didn't want to do it. And I was forced into engineering. But for the first time, something happened. For the first time in my life, I failed. And I realized that failing in life is the most awesome feeling in the world. Because when you fail, you feel liberated. You feel that all those responsibilities that were on your head, that you were thinking about, all those 100 things that you shouldn't be thinking about, are no longer valid. And the most awesome thing is if you are a young kid in India and you're a failure. There's nothing better than that. Because actually nobody gives a damn about what you're doing. Like, for example, I'm sure a lot of you must have done this because I can see a lot of you may be mothers, right? Like, when relatives come over, you bring the report card of your children to show to the relatives who come. Like, oh yeah, look at my son. And then I'm sure a lot of you make them sing or dance based on their talent, right? Come on, don't feel awkward. I know a lot of you guys. My mom loves that, right? So my mom used to love the fact that, my elder brother could sing, so when relatives would come over, she would be like, beta gao. Chacha chachi ke liye gao or uncle auntie ke liye gao. I'm like, what? And then if they would get like a really good rank in school or college, and they would come out with a report card and show it. Now me, right, I failed, right? And Indian parents hate a son or a daughter who's failed in college. Am I right? Right? And usually they don't call that. They kind of admit the fact that they are no longer their son or children, and they would call them out. So that was the best thing for me. Now I didn't have to meet all these uncle aunties anymore, which I hated, right? My biggest problem was coming and meeting these uncle aunties and showing them my marks card. So I was like, okay, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to please my parents anymore. I don't have to please my teachers anymore. That means I can now stop thinking so much, right? So that one moment of failure became my biggest moment of success. So I picked up my handycam again, and I started making more short films. Then in 2006, I'm browsing the internet, and there's this little website with one red button on it. It says you click upload and anyone, anywhere in the world can see your video. That website obviously we now know as youtube.com. But imagine 10 years ago, 12 years ago, right, when I was trying to make all these short films and show it to people, and suddenly this website comes along and says, now you don't have to worry about showing your videos to anybody. So I started uploading all my short films on YouTube. I started uploading all my videos on YouTube. And suddenly people, random people across the world start writing to me saying, hey, we saw your film and we think it's good and you should continue this. And I was like, wow, my own friends, my own family do not give a damn about my filmmaking, but some person sitting in some obscure country tells me that I'm good at this. That's when I realized that the greatest motivation in life comes when somebody whom you've never met, never seen, or don't know tells you that you're good at something. Right? Always, always seek out for that. Because throughout our lives, we're always told that we're good at something by the people around us. But when somebody whom you never know, never met, tells you that you're good at something, there cannot be a bigger motivation than that. So I started making all my short films and the videos started getting more views. So in the first year of my college, I started my first company, Last Minute Films, because I realized that everything in life happens at last minute. So I launched a company when I was 19 years old. Then in 2007, I made this music video for this rock band called Pentagram and put it up on YouTube. And it got like 100,000 views and was like the first viral video of India. So this production company in Bombay flew me down to Bombay and offered me a job to direct music videos in my third year of college. And I was like, thank God, because this is all I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm not going back to Bangalore anymore because I really wanted to be a professional filmmaker and now I actually have a job to make professional films. So I called up my mom and her best friend Anuvani obviously always happens to be around. And I told them I'm not coming back. Obviously they were not very impressed because this is the expression they gave me again. They were like, no, you come back, finish your 1 year of engineering and then we'll see. I finished my last year of engineering, but after that, I decided that this is what I'm going to do. I took a one-way bus ticket to Bombay. I landed up in that production company's office, stayed there for 2 whole days without moving, telling them that I'm not going to leave until they give me the job that they offered me a year ago. Luckily, they did. But you know what is the funniest thing? 1 month later, they sent me to Chennai and they asked me to direct this guy in a promo video. So I'm 20 years old and I've been asked to direct Mr. A.R. Rahman in a promo video. And the funny thing is that I'm supposed to tell him what to do. That's when I realized how screwed up our education system is. Because our education system always tells you that you should be a follower, not a leader. And our education system always tells you that if you meet a celebrity or if you meet somebody accomplished, you should bow down to them. And you should pretend that they are the lords and they know everything. But then, if I do that, how am I supposed to direct him and tell him what is he supposed to do? Right? We have this very weird habit that if we see somebody accomplished, we think that they're better than us. Right? We refer to them as sir and ma'am. And we give them, they obviously need respect and you should give them respect. But at no point should you think that you're lesser than them. Even if it's somebody like Amitabh Bachchan who walks up here, at no point should you think, oh my God, he's Amitabh Bachchan and I'm nobody. No, you're somebody as well. It's just that you haven't discovered who you are. Right? The only difference between A.R. Rahman and you is A.R. Rahman discovered who you wanted to be and you did, and there's ample time for that. So never ever think that you're not good enough, or never ever think that you're less than someone, never ever think that you're inferior to somebody, and especially you women, never ever let anybody tell you what to do. Right? That's very, very important. So I was like, whoa, my entire education system just got turned upside down because a 3-time Oscar winner is asking me, what should I do? This is not what they taught me in school. In school, they taught me, for me, A.R. Rahman, go touch his feet. That's it. Right? So I told him, surprisingly, he was a very nice guy, and I was able to do the shoot well. But at the end of the shoot, he said, Varun, whatever you do in life, make sure you do what you love. Because if you do what you love, you're going to be super successful in it. 2 months later, I was directing a music video for Shankar Ehsaan Roy, and the star of the music video was Preeti Zinta. This was in 2000. This was again like when I was 20 years old. The problem was she refused to believe that I was a director because I was 20 years old and I looked 12, and she thought that we were playing a prank on her. Yeah. So the story goes that I hadn't met her till the day of the shoot, right? So I was speaking to her on the phone and explaining the shoot. The day of the shoot comes and I prepare this massive speech that I'm going to tell her when I meet her. And I think that, when she hear my speech, she'd want to marry me. So I'm all set with my speech and I go up to a trailer van and I'm like, Preeti, this is the script and this is that. And I finish my 10-minute monologue. And at the end of it, she looks at me and says, but who's the director? And I'm like, shit. And then we had to get my producer, we had to get my entire crew to convince her that I was the director. And she kept thinking that we were playing a prank on her. But guess what the problem here was? I was 20 years old. There was a crew who was twice my age. There was a movie star. And I was supposed to be their boss. And I was supposed to tell them what to do. Right? And the entire education system again went upside down. I was like, whoa. All my life, nobody prepared me for this. My family or my teachers never told me that one day maybe you'll become a leader too. And if you have to be a leader, how are you supposed to act? How are you supposed to pretend? How are you supposed to lead? Nothing, right? I had zero knowledge. I knew everything about physics, biology, chemistry. I didn't know anything about life. I had zero life skills. I didn't know how to walk to people and talk to them. I didn't know how to lead a group of people. That's the problem with the Indian education system, and that's the gap that you as parents should fill up. In school, they learn nothing. They will learn nothing that will help them in life. The only thing that will help them in life are life skills. And life skills can make them more successful than anybody else. So if your son or daughter is not performing very well in school or college, but has phenomenal life skills, then your son or daughter will be the CEO, but the person who scored really well will be their employee, right? So do not force that mindset onto your children, but teach them life skills. Teach them how to be a leader. Teach them how to talk to people. Teach them how to be nice to people. Those skills are the only skills that last. Because any other thing can be learned. Any other theoretical subject in this world can be studied. The one thing that helped me get over this shoot was something that's called 20 Seconds of Courage. What is 20 Seconds of Courage? It's from this book called We Bought a Zoo. It says that it's in the first 20 seconds that your mind decides that it's going to do something about it. First 20 seconds. It could be anything. But it's in the first 20 seconds that your mind will decide that I can do this. So there's a very famous story to illustrate this. So there's a movie made of the book. So there's this actor called Matt Damon. He's walking down the street and he sees this really pretty girl sitting in a coffee shop. And he's like, wow, this girl is really pretty. I should go and tell her hi. Now most people have two options, right? Walk straight or actually go in and tell the girl that she's pretty. But he's like, no, 20 seconds of courage. I should do this. So he's like 20, 19, 18. By the 15th second, he's in the coffee shop. It's like the 4th second, 3rd second. By the 2nd second, he finally walks up to her and says, hey, I was walking down the street and I saw you and I think you're really pretty and just wanted to say that. Turns out the girl's having a really bad day. She looks back at him and says, that's the nicest thing anybody's told me all day. Would you like to join me for a cup of coffee? They end up having coffee, they end up falling in love, they end up getting married. This won't happen in India because you'll get slapped. But what I'm trying to say is that it's in the first 20 seconds that your mind decides that's going to do something wrong. The next time you're scared to do something, talk to yourself for the first 20 seconds. I can do this. Like if any of you have a fear of public speaking, right? Before you walk up the stage, don't think of anything else except I'm going to do this. I'm going to go up and I'm going to give a great talk and I'm going to speak. It's in the first 20 seconds, if you can convince your mind, then your mind automatically believes that you're a public speaker. While doing this, I really had a good time working in Bollywood, but I got a little bored of it. And surprisingly, this movie came back to haunt me some years later. I came back to Bangalore after a year, and my friend and I, we were sitting in this bar. Bangalore is famous for its pubs. So my friend and I, we were getting drunk, and we started missing our school. We went to this school called Bishop Gordon's, and we were called Pitonians. So we were like, dude, we should get sweatshirts made for our school. But then, when you're drunk, anything is possible, right? So we were like, dude, why not this for every school and college in this country? Which is a big dream and aspiration considering India has over 300 million students. But we were drunk, so on a piece of tissue paper we wrote down our business plan to make merchandise for students of schools and colleges in every country. Now usually these ideas die out the next day with a hangover, but we said no, we're going to try and make it work. If we go and tell mom and Anu auntie about this idea, this is what's going to happen, right? But we didn't know anything about running a business. Where do you make t-shirts? What do you know about e-commerce? Where do you get your money from? What do you know about printing? And guys, please remember, this is 2008, when e-commerce was non-existent in India. There was nobody in India buying online. Entrepreneurship was unheard of. Investment was unheard of. No 23-year-old kids were getting funded. This was a very difficult time. Now, most people would do this, right? But 4 years of engineering and 18 years of school, they did not teach me how to use Microsoft Excel. And I realized that's the only thing you need to know to succeed in life. Nothing else. Trust me, if you want your son or daughter to be successful, make sure he or she knows how to use Microsoft Excel. That's the only education anybody would know. If you don't believe me, ask anybody who's 30 years and above and ask them what they're doing. Microsoft Excel. Nothing else. So all their education by the age of 30 will be worthless because it's going to be that one software that all of them will be working on. So please make sure that your children know how to use Microsoft Excel. So I didn't even know how to use Microsoft Excel. So we decided that we're going to do this, right? So we found a manufacturer in Jaipur and we asked him to make some samples for us. We went to the principal of Bishop Cotton's and we asked him if he could come to the Old Boys' Day and display our samples. And surprisingly, he agreed. So we went on the Old Boys' Day and we displayed our samples. The first 2 hours, nobody bought our sweatshirts. But then at the end of the day, we ended up selling 2,500 sweatshirts.
Wow.
That's when we knew that this idea could work. And the best part was when students from this college started wearing their sweatshirts, students from other schools got insecure. And they were like, where's our sweatshirt? So that's when I realized that we need to start an online store if we have to make that dream achievable to make this for the entire country. But it's 2008, people are not buying online, there's no cash on delivery happening. When we would go to school and colleges to partner with them, they would think that I've come there for admission. Because 22 years old and the principal would genuinely tell me, dude, are you like playing a prank with me because you need to study, you need to go to college, you shouldn't be doing this. And the most difficult part was how do we start this because there was so much fear. Because whenever we're trying to do anything new in India, right, your friends and family make sure they put so much fear. You're going to fail. And when you fail, I'm going to be there to remind you that I told you that you are going to fail. Right? And, especially Anu auntie, she was like, you're definitely going to fail. And the biggest fear came from within. What if everyone is alive? What if I fail? And what if it doesn't work? And what if everybody was right and I was wrong? But that fear vanished when I read this little statement that I came across. And it's a very small statement. And I feel this is the only motivation you need in your entire life. And it's a simple line, that in the next 50 years, everyone sitting in this room is going to be dead. That is it. If you want to know what the honest truth is, everyone in this room is going to be dead in the next 50 years. In the next 99 years, every single human being you have ever known is going to be dead. Ever. Every living human being on this planet, except a few Japanese, is going to be dead. Every single day you get closer to death. Every single day you get closer to death. Always remember that when you are scared. You are not going to live forever. You are not God. You are not immortal. The next time you think that I want to jump off a plane and go skydiving, the next time you think I want to travel the world, the next time you want to think I want to go scuba diving or, do anything, do it. Do it now. Because when you are 75 years old and you're going to die and that nurse comes and tells you, time up, you don't want to look at her and say, shit, ab khatam. I kept saying, I'll do it, now I can't. Every time you're scared, think of the last 5 minutes of your life. When you're on your deathbed and your children are waiting for you to sign the papers to transfer their property, right? And you are like, shit, I am done. I got this one life. And you know what the funny thing is? The human being is actually a miracle, right? And I'm not going to look at this from a God perspective. I'm going to give you a mathematical equation for a human being. Can you imagine the entire city of Jaipur as a universe? The entire universe, okay? The entire city of Jaipur is a universe. City of Jaipur is pretty big, right? Right? Oh, it's good. The entire world is a universe. Earth, planet Earth is a universe. This one speck of dust is planet Earth. That's where you are. Can you imagine how big the universe is? And can you imagine where you are? Because the universe is infinite, right? There's no end to the universe. Everybody knows that, right? Let's assume the entire country of India is a universe. This one speck of dust is planet Earth. That is where you are. Just to give you a perspective, who you are. Now, think of all the species on planet Earth, right? And put them as a country of India. This one speck of dust is the human species. Can you imagine you not being born as this clicker, as this mic, as this carpet, as this chair, as a dog, as a cat, as a gas on Jupiter or a rock on Mars? Can you imagine how lucky you are to have been born as a human being and not anything else? And we do not know of any life form outside. So the probability of you being a human being is 1 in a trillion, 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 and it doesn't stop. That's who you are. But there's just one problem, that you're gonna die. And that is what you should remember when you are scared. That is what you should remember when the next time you think that, oh, I can't do this. And that is what you should remember, that I need to make sure that I make this life fulfilled enough so when I die, I can proudly say I did all those things that I was scared of. Because at that stage, it wouldn't matter. So, because I had that thought in my head, we decided to start the company. In 2009, we launched Alma Mater Store. Obviously, it was very difficult when we started. Anuwanti simply called me a t-shirt salesman. My mom gave up, obviously, all hopes on Dowdy. And then, the funny thing was, we couldn't get people to work for us because we were 22 years old and people older than us said, we can't work for you because you're younger than us, which is quite strange. So it was very difficult for us to grow the company. And I didn't take any money from my parents because I wanted to prove it to them that I will do it without their help. In fact, I didn't even tell them that I started the business until 6 months after starting it. I remember the same place where we formulated the idea. I went there and I didn't even have money to buy beer, right? But I was like, it's totally fine because I love doing this. But then things began to change. We got featured on the cover of India Today and numerous newspapers and articles. And in 3 years, with having zero business experience, we took Alma Mater from $0 to $1 million in revenue and worked with over 4,000 schools and colleges in over 500 different cities. And all of this was possible because of these 2 words. But you know what is the best part? 2 years later, we're sitting in that same pub, and a random person walks past us wearing a Victorian sweatshirt. For me, that is success. For me, that is success. Because you can't take money back, you can't take your properties back, you can't take your bank balance back. But it's these small memories that you can always have with you, right? And it's these small memories that you should look for. Because I think that's what life is about. There's only so much money can buy. It can just buy you a better house. But it's the same thing. You've got to go and live in that house. It's absolutely the same thing. It can only buy you a better car, but it still gets you from A to B, right? It can only get you more money, where you can see that same country again and again and again and again. So I think money is very irrelevant after a point, because there's only so much money can buy. But memories and experiences, that never ends. And that is something that you should look for, because that is something that can be treasured more than money. At the same time, we kept last minute films running, and we got over 10 million views on YouTube. Funnily, that small little website now is one of the biggest companies in the world, and everybody watches everything on YouTube now. And now come to the last part of my journey. So this Anuwanti was a big problem in my life, right? Everyone was like, she was always, behind me. So I decided to write a few blogs about Anuwanti. So I wrote a few blogs about Anuwanti. And then all these students were like, dude, your Anuwanti is just like my Anuwanti. And this is totally like, I think all the Anuwantis in India are the same. So then somebody suggested, you should write a book about Anuwanti. And I was like, whoa, how do you write a book? Because I had never written anything in my life. So I Googled how to write a book. And it said, open Microsoft Word and start typing. And I was like, wow, so you write a book, okay. So Anuwani was a big motivation, so I started writing my book. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I ended up writing like about 40,000 words because that's the number of words you need to write a book. And I printed it in a local Xerox shop, sent it to the first publisher that showed up on Google. 1 month later, they wrote back to me saying they want to publish my book. And I was like, no wonder Chetan Bhagat gets published. Because if I can get published, anybody in this world can get published. I was like, wow, I'm a published author? So cool. So the book was called How I Braved Anuwani and Co-founded a $1 billion company. It's about how we started our company. Surprisingly, the book went mad. It did really well. It went to the bestsellers list, even though it was a really badly written book. And it got all over the place. I even found an auto guy in Bangalore selling my own book to me, which I felt very proud of. It sold 500,000 copies, and I think the reason why the book worked is because actually a lot of parents read it, and they tried to understand their kids better, right? The biggest problem in Indian families is that the parents and children do not communicate, they do not talk, and I think that should be broken. The kids are too awkward to talk to their parents, the parents are too awkward to talk to their children, and I think India would be a much better off country if parents and children can just talk to each other freely, without any inhibitions, and tell them about their deepest feelings and say, this is what I want to do, without being judged, right? And I think that's why the book really worked. The funny thing was, 3 years ago I got a call from Bombay, and this guy is like, hey, can you come to Bombay and meet me? I want to talk to you about your book. So I go to meet him, and he's like, I really like your book, and I think I want to make this into a film. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I think it'll really help a lot of other kids as well. So he's like, right now I'm working on this film about 2 female wrestlers. I still don't have an actor, but if I get a famous actor to act in it, then probably I'll make that film first. Then I said, who do you plan to get in that film? He said, I'm trying for Amir Khan. I said, dude, if you get Amir Khan, make that film first, because then our film is going to be really big. He goes ahead, he makes that film. That film is called Dangal, which is the highest grossing film ever made in the history of Bollywood. Like what, 2,000 crores? It's basically the most successful film ever made. And I was like, wait, this guy is going to be making my movie? So I thought it's not going to happen. So after Dangal comes out, and I'm like, whoa, this is such a phenomenal success that I don't think it's going to make Anuwani. But it comes out, and I get a call from Siddharth Roy Kapoor, who's the producer of Dangal, and Roddy Screwvala, and they signed the book, and now they're working on the movie for Anuwani, which makes me wonder that, remember what I told you? That you shouldn't have any fear, and you should not think too much? Because if you do that, crazy, mad things like that can happen. Like there's an actual Bollywood movie being made on me by the biggest director in Bollywood. Why? Because I did not say. So the next time you have fear, always remember my talk, and always remember that this is what you need to do. I'm just going to end my talk with a story. The story is about my friend Vicky Roy. So Vicky was born to a very poor family in Delhi. At the age of 8, he ran away to the railway station to live there. He worked as a rag picker. He would sell empty water bottles and get 1 rupee for it, and would get a 1 meal a day. When you go to McDonald's and throw a half-eaten burger, Vicky was that guy who picked that burger up and eat because he had nothing to eat. Now living in a New Delhi railway station is not a cool thing to do. He was harassed by the police, he was harassed by other rag pickers, he was beaten up a lot, but he somehow survived. At the age of 14, an NGO found him, and they offered him a job to carry tripods for cameramen, right? Like the tripod that you see there. So he started doing that, and he's like, wow, you can tell an entire story through 1 photograph. Vicky then decided that he wants to be a photographer. Big dream for somebody who has no house, no money, no parents, and is a rag picker. So he started convincing these photographers to teach them photography. But none of them agreed. They all thought that he's just a poor little beggar and they shouldn't be teaching him. Then this German photographer comes 2 years later. He takes some pity on Vicky and starts teaching him photography. Vicky now starts learning photography every day. He would now collect those empty water bottles and not eat for days. So he could sell those empty water bottles and hire a camera for a day. So he could just take pictures. 6 years later, Vicky was one of the 6 photographers chosen across the world to shoot the reconstruction of the World Trade Center, was invited to have tea with the Queen at Buckingham Palace, and is now one of the most famous photographers in India. The reason why I'm telling you this is that life is very short. All of you are blessed with a talent. All of you, each and every one of you. You would be doing wrong to God and to that mathematical equation of you being born as a human being if you do not find out why you're here for. Right? Every one of you has been born with a purpose. Find that purpose and then go after that purpose without getting scared, without having any fear, because that's the only reason why God made you a human being and not an animal. Because you're the only person who can dream, who can ideate, who can think, who can love, who can invent, who can travel. You have all the gifts. Do not waste it. Thank you.
Absolutely enthralling and very, very enriching. I would now request Mr. Rahul Kapoor for his inspirational talk, The Leading Edge.
Brilliant job. Would you want to clap like really loud? हिंदी और इंग्लिश भाषा में अगर आपको ऑप्शन दो तो कौन सी भाषा आपको पसंद आएगी, हिंदी या इंग्लिश? हिंदी के लिए कितने लोग ऊपर करेंगे हाथ? इंग्लिश के लिए दोनों साथ में? Wow, everybody wants the best of both the worlds, right? चलिए कोशिश करें. We can speak in both the languages. Okay, I am speaking on this topic of the leading edge. It's a privilege for me to be here. मेरे पास दो ऑप्शन है, एक मैं स्पीच दूँ और आपको अपने आप अपने सर के ऊपर थोड़ा बोझ लगाकर सोचने के लिए मजबूर करूँ, मगर उन्होंने अभी कहा कि let's not get into thinking, so I have the other option. I involve all of you and we really do some magical stuff, and I can then try and reach out to where I want to, which is the leading edge. So if you want to really involve yourself, you want to experience a talk where you and I are together, then put your hands up and say yes. Okay, sounds good, great. Good afternoon. I'm 180 ladies. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm just playing with you for a few minutes, just trying to get you all into one kind of frequency, and from there we build up. Okay, I want to ask you, I want to tell you good afternoon one more time. I want to hear your response. The one who gives me the loudest and the longest good afternoon gets these prizes. Age no bar, designation no bar, qualification no bar, fun bar bar. Are you with me? Okay? Now make it loud, make it long, and just be a part of the experiment with me. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon. Yes, I got it. Now, काफी लोगों ने अच्छे से किया और काफी लोग ऐसे. But you are the one. What's the name? Congratulations काजी आपके लिए, और जो आपके लिए सबसे लंबी, सबसे तगड़ी, सबसे अच्छी ताली मारेगा उसके लिए ये प्राइस. Come on everybody, let's clap and go everybody. बड़ी तालियां हो जाए. Come on, no music, just clap. I want to hear you. बस इतना ही कर सकते हैं. I want to go, and I said age no bar, designation no bar, and I'm going to you. Now congratulations. Now, मैं आपसे एक प्रश्न पूछूंगा. पहली बार, first time you said good afternoon, third time you said good afternoon. Was there any difference? Yes, no, fast.
Yes.
Come on, yes, no. Third time make a difference. What was the difference the third time? There was more energy, there was more enthusiasm, there was more involvement. When you did all that the third time, why didn't you give me the same response the first time? There are no gifts. You got this, Rahul. That was motivation, and therefore we did it. What you call motivation, I call that manipulation. एक अनजान बंदा जिसको आप जानते नहीं हैं, you don't even know who he is, he comes over here, he takes your performance from here to here. You're like, wow, that's great, that's amazing. No, that's dangerous. Why? Because your potential, the key to your potential was in my hands. That's risky. Your motivation was in my hands, worth 100 rupees. How cheap is motivation? In the last 19 years of my life, I've had the privilege to work with some of the most interesting human beings in this world. Dr. Abdul Kalam, जिनके साथ मैंने एक charitable trust शुरू किया. सचिन तेंदुलकर जिनके साथ मैंने IPL में काम किया. शाहरुख खान जिनके साथ हमने बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स किए, Formula 1 के ड्राइवर्स, निको हॉकिंबर्ग, स्विमर्स, चैंपियंस, स्पिरिचुअल गुरुज, लीडर्स। हमेशा जब मैं इन लोगों को मिलता हूँ तो एक प्रश्न जरूर पूछता हूँ, What did they do in their lives that others didn't do? कुछ तो फर्क होगा. There must be something different that they are doing that we don't do, the others don't do. Believe it or not, जब मैं कोई प्रश्न पूछता हूँ कि आंसर क्या है, I try and put it down on paper to try to see what's going to be common. जो common चीज़ आती है उसमें से एक बार भी, not even once I've heard the word, not even once I've heard the word motivation. Why? Because motivation comes from outside. It comes and it goes, it comes and it goes, and whatever comes and goes, and if that is inspiring you, if that is trying to get the results out of you, the problem is this, that you will be inconsistent. And anybody who's inconsistent can't get the leading edge. एक बार ताली मारनी मत, मारने तो ऐसी मारे कि लगता है कि ताली मारनी। Some people ask me, Rahul, if motivation doesn't work, what works? मैं वो क्यों कहता हूँ कि motivation doesn't work, something else is working, something else is consistent. What is that? Inspiration. Motivation कहाँ से आता है? बाहर से. Inspiration कहाँ आता है? अंदर से. Motivation आता जाता है inconsistent. Inspiration अंदर से आता है, और जो चीज़ अंदर से आती है उसकी दुनिया की कोई ताकत उसको हिला नहीं सकती है. And which is what I'm here to do, help you understand how to live an inspired life, knowing that all of you are already successful. But inspired that I'm here, not to teach you how to do your jobs better, how to live your life better, that you can. But I'm going to help you understand how to be better, how to stay inspired. बस वो आज ही हमारी कोशिश है. मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी कुछ समझा दिया है. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's understand the psychology of this. 19 years of my life, I've spent understanding what this one does. ये mind काम कैसे करता है, इसकी wiring कैसे चलती है, क्या कुछ होता है इसके अंदर. And I've traveled around the world, talking to the best of psychologists, best of doctors, engineers, the best of spiritual gurus, the best of business leaders. और उनकी जो विचारधारा है उसको मैंने समझने की कोशिश की, and I created a concept which is a combination of science, psychology and spirituality. And इन तीनों को जोड़ के मैं आपके सामने ये प्रोग्राम प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूँ. I want you to know this, we all have tremendous amount of potential, like Varun spoke. The problem is this, that when we hear Varun and say, wow, what a lucky guy. But actually उसको decode करेंगे तो हमको पता चलेगा, it's not a lucky guy. दिमाग में कुछ हुआ, वो wiring का अगर हमें पता चल जाए, we can achieve the same success as well. Anybody in any field. Now these lights are working, switches could be there. But I don't want this light to work from that way. I want a better result. I can redo the wiring, and if I know the switch can be here or there, you're in control of your life, and that is the leading edge. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready. I'm here to help you understand. आपके ही शरीर के दिमाग के अंदर अद्भुत शक्ति है जिसको आप पहचानते नहीं हैं. उसमें से एक को आज निकाल के पूरी तरह से समझाऊंगा. पर मैं जयपुर में हूँ, आज सवेरे एक प्रोग्राम हुआ, आप यहाँ हूँ, कल एक और प्रोग्राम कर रहा हूँ, बड़ा प्रोग्राम है. तो maybe we can try and get connected if you want to learn the other aspects. मतलब एक एस्पेक्ट कंप्लीट करके जाऊँगा आज. Observe the potential, okay? मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप अपना राइट हैंड ऊपर करिए, जितना हो सकता है उतना करके बताइए. अब थोड़ा और करिए, हाथ नीचे करिए. मैंने पहली बार क्या कहा? अपना हाथ जितना हो सकता है उतना करिए. फिर मैंने कहा थोड़ा और, आधा इंच आपने रखा था वो किया. पहले क्यों नहीं किया? This is not your fault. This is the power of the subconscious mind जो बचा के रखता है कि यार on the bad day इसको यूज कर लेंगे. Unfortunately, like how Varun was saying, वो bad day की पहचान कब होगी we don't know. Life ऐसे ही गुजर जाती है. So what I'm here to tell you is this: we have tremendous amount of potential. अगर आप मेरे साथ वार्तालाप करें, विवाद करें, आप मुझे कहो कि राहुल, अगर मेरा हाथ इतना ऊपर होता, absolutely high, और अगर आपने कहा होता थोड़ा और, तो मैं क्या करती? I mean, I was completely high. तो आप उठ सकती थी हाथ के साथ. मगर आप फिर बात करेंगे, नहीं. If I was already standing, my hand was so high, तब मैं क्या करती? चेयर पर रख जाती. अगर चेयर पर होती तो ऊपर चली जाती. ऊपर होती तो बिल्डिंग के ऊपर चली जाती. उसके ऊपर होती तो एयरप्लेन चल जाती. उसके ऊपर होती तो रॉकेट में चली जाती. You make a decision how much you want to go, because शास्त्र में ये बात आती है कि आत्मा का स्वरूप सिर्फ ऊपर ही जाना है, मोक्ष तक जा सकते हैं, तुम क्यों सोच के अपनी जिंदगी को इतनी कॉम्प्रोमाइज तरीके से जीते हो? Keep it moving. I think the question to you I have to throw the session. I'll take your questions right towards the end.
No, later one may forget the questions.
I'll make sure you don't forget the question. I promise you, Marcus, I'm आपको पूछूंगा मैं.
Let's not bring your mother in this, no?
Sorry. No. Please don't take me literally. कभी हम program करते हैं, and if I just say Marcus, and it is not because I really mean Marcus. Go ahead, ask me the question.
No, we can do it later.
Yes, please do it.
Doesn't matter. Not problem at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is this: that we have tremendous amount of potential. We can go any way we want to. The only problem is something stops us. And who is that something? We. It's you who stop it. And the beautiful thing is, you don't even realize. मैं थोड़ी अपनी स्टोरी कहता हूँ, कुछ छोटे में संक्षिप्त में, उसके बाद मैं वहाँ से पिकअप करता हूँ कि why am I really here and what is the amazing transformational stories that we're talking about leading edge and how that can be taken to the next level in your own lives. मेरा जन्म एक अच्छे परिवार में हुआ. मेरे दादू साहब, मैं सुमेरपुर से हूँ, राजस्थान. मैं सुमेरपुर, वहाँ से नौवीं गाँव, मारवाड़ी हूँ. राहुल कपूर जैन मेरा नाम है. तो लोग पूछते हैं कपूर जैन कैसे होते हैं, तो मैंने कहा कि भाई मैंने कपूर चंद मेरे बादशाह का नाम मेरे नाम के साथ जोड़ लिया. तो लोग मुझे रोज पूछते हैं कि भाई कपूर जैन कैसे होते हैं, और मैं उनको ये कहता हूँ कि मैं कपूर चंद ताराचंद का पोता हूँ. उनकी मृत्यु के बाद उनका मैंने नाम अडॉप्ट किया ताकि मैं रोज उन्हें जीवित रख सकूँ. सिंपल वैल्यूज. या तो ताली मारी नहीं मारी तो ऐसे मारी नहीं. But that's my own way of doing something for myself. तो जब मेरा जन्म हुआ तो उसके पहले की बात हुई थी कि मेरे ग्रैंडफादर इंडस्ट्रीज थे, काफ़ी पैसे थे. वो पैसे हाथ से चले गए क्योंकि कुछ गलती हो गई. जब मेरा जन्म हुआ तो घर में पैसे नहीं थे मुझे हॉस्पिटल से बाहर लाने के लिए. लोन लिया, बाहर लाए, सब कुछ हुआ. मगर मेरे किसी भाई की पढ़ाई पूरी नहीं हो पाई क्योंकि घर में पैसे कम थे. तो क्या कि राहुल पढ़ेगा, तो राहुल ने पढ़ाई भी कर ली. I was pretty good. फिर I lost my track. दारू पी ली, सिगरेट पी ली, all sorts of wrong things. And then मैंने माँ बाप को रोते हुए देखा. I decided I want to live my life back again. तो फिर से मैंने फर्स्ट जो चीज़ छोड़ दिया, I was back again with my normal self and I was doing well in my exams. ये सब हुआ. Final examinations. My father, he had cancer. पर वो मरे नहीं जब तक मेरी एग्जाम्स पूरी ना हुई. Because एक बार मैं 12वीं कक्षा में फेल हो चुका था. वो नहीं चाहता कि मैं फिर से फेल हूँ. So he was struggling with his life, but he didn't die until I passed my exams. Awesome. वहाँ से आगे बढ़ा और एक प्रण किया. Now I really want to do everything that I can for my parents, उनके नाम के लिए. And there was I, achieving success after success, traveling around the world, meeting the best of people, being in touch with all sorts of leaders, achieving really great success in my career. I got the youngest Indian, the Outstanding Young Person of India award. I got the Young Achievers Award. I was traveling with Dr. Abdul Kalam. I was working with Sachin Tendulkar. I was doing all these things. 2 books written on me. I wrote books, articles, magazines. सब कुछ हो गया. I was like on top of my life, working in America, giving talks after talks. And after I came from America, I was on a 17 days India tour, and my body broke down. मैं घर नहीं पाया. मैं लेट कर बैंगलोर पहुंचा. डॉक्टर के पास गया, स्कैनिंग वगैरह हुई, शरीर में क्या चल रहा है nobody understood. 17 डॉक्टर्स ने मुझे 3 महीने तक जांचा, परखा, कुछ नहीं निकला. But मैं स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ. I'm in tremendous pain. I'm not knowing what to do from here. So let me stop here for a minute and let's rewind back on the story. Rewind back के अंदर मैं आपको leading edge की बात कर रहा हूँ. मैंने आपको क्षमता की बात की. And I said we all have tremendous amount of potential. उस बात को मैंने यहाँ रखा. ये स्टोरी मैंने आपको कही. इसका evaluation करते हैं. This is how we live our lives. We want to achieve success. Why? Because दुनिया में कुछ ऐसी चीजें हो जाती है जो हमें बहुत दुख देती है. And because we want to come out of the pain, we put all our power and energy so that we can succeed from there. Everybody sitting here has a story. Agree? वरुण की story वरुण की थी. He's a speaker. He's making money out of it. मेरी story ये है. I'm a speaker. I'm making money out of it. आपकी भी एक story है. आपकी भी है. आपकी भी है. ना जाने कितने लोग यहाँ पर बैठे जिनकी stories है. किसी के घर में पैसे नहीं थे. किसी के घर के अंदर किसी की बीमारी हो गई. Somebody lost their dad or mom in a very young age. Some of you must have gone through a huge struggle with your own wife, with your own husband, children. I don't know what. हम सबकी story है. मगर मेरा प्रोग्राम जहाँ ये स्टोरी खत्म हो जाती है, जहाँ हम सक्सेसफुल हो जाते हैं, वहाँ से हम आगे कैसे बढ़े? That's That's what I'm here to talk about. Have a look at this. So much of success, every single person. The why are we talking about leading edge? What happened to me when I was such a successful person, training people, inspiring them around the world? Why did I fall down like that? Because मैं खुश नहीं था. I was not happy. नाम, शोहरत, पैसे. शादी के अंदर क्या हो रहा था? हम शक्कर देते मेरे हाथ में है, आप आज भी देख सकते हो. बच्चों के साथ क्या हो रहा था? पैसे कमा रहा हूँ. हर आदमी, हर बच्चा जो मुझे देखता है बैंगलोर के अंदर से, ओ राहुल कपूर is your father? तो मैं कुछ से, yeah, Rahul Kapoor is my father, but connect me. इतना सक्सेस, मगर अंदर से इतना खाली. I was empty within, with all the success that I have. No doctor could cure me, man. एक डॉक्टर ठीक नहीं कर पा रहा है. तब जाके मेरी पहचान भारतीय संस्कृति के साथ हुई. That's when I realized the power of Indian scriptures, Indian thought process. मैंने किताबें उठाई and I started to understand what's written in that. वैसे भी पलंग के ऊपर सोया हुआ, कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ. 3 महीने से 6 हो गए, 6 से 12 हो गए. वैसे तो ठीक नहीं हो रहा. And here I am in all my glory and all the success, not knowing what's going on with my body. And I started reading these amazingly great Indian scriptures. और वहाँ से मैंने connect किया. I went to speak on my bed. And I'm researching, and I said, hey, there's a power of mind. जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, मन, वचन और काया. ये मन क्या? ये वचन क्या? ये काया क्या? And I said, इसमें कुछ तो होगा. तो जो हम सोचते हैं, वो हम कहते हैं, जो कहते हैं, वो हम करते हैं. तो मैंने अपनी पूरी लाइफ को देखा और कहा कि भाई इनकंसिस्टेंसी है या कंसिस्टेंसी है. और मेरे जीवन के अंदर सिर्फ इनकंसिस्टेंसी थी, बिकॉज मैं सिर्फ एक चीज के पीछे भाग रहा हूँ, सक्सेस. I'm not able to be consistent with myself. I was just not consistent with myself. Something was wrong. Then I looked at the best psychologist in the best thinker in the world. And I said, इसके बारे में सब्जेक्ट कौन समझता है जो शरीर और दिमाग के बारे में बात करते हैं? डॉक्टर जॉन, न्यूयॉर्क. फिर मैंने कहा नहीं, I want to understand more about what Mahavir is saying, what's Buddha saying, what's Ram, Krishna saying. Then I tried and connected Mani Bhavnik. Then I said कुछ और होगा, इसकी कोई और रिसर्च होगी. Then I went and looked at yoga, and ये सारे के सारे experiments मैं अपने साथ कर रहा हूँ. अभी तक उठ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. And one fine day, with the power of all the knowledge that I could pick up, I got up and I started to walk. I ran, and I was back to myself. कुछ हुआ उस दिन मेरी जिंदगी में. Because how could this happen? क्या हुआ मेरी जिंदगी में? वो फॉर्मूला आपको भी देने जा रहा हूँ. और उसके बाद एक सब्जेक्ट को उठा के उसका पूरा डेप्थ लेके जाऊंगा मैं आपको. और ये पता चला कि I was a broken person. मेरा खुद के साथ ही रिश्ता बहुत वीक था. मैं एक प्रोडक्ट बन चुका था अपने ही दिमाग का, कि जो गरीबी मैंने देखी, जो तकलीफें मैंने देखी मेरे परिवार में, मैंने प्रण किया कि I want to succeed. और उस सक्सेस के पीछे इतना भागा कि अपने आप के साथ रिश्ता तोड़ गया. परिवार के साथ रहता हूँ, माँ के साथ रहता हूँ, भाइयों के साथ रहता हूँ, but there was nothing called as relationship, and that is where the mind goes into absolute status quo, and उसको हम कहते हैं suppressed anger. अंदर वाला गुस्सा हमें इतना दबा देता है कि बॉडी, शरीर, दिमाग का संतुलन खराब होता है, and the body breaks down. कैंसर, बैकएक, नी एक, डायबिटीज, स्किन एलर्जीज, उन सब का तोड़ मैं आपको यहाँ दिखा के जाऊंगा इन द नेक्स्ट 30 मिनट्स के कैसे हम वहाँ से उठ के ऐसे बन सकते हैं. मेरी उम्र 42 साल की है, 2 बच्चे, 1 बीवी है. किसके लिए? एक बीवी के लिए. धर्म पत्नी है. लोग कहते रहो इतना यंग कैसे देखते हो, कौन सा फेयर लवली यूज करते हो? कुछ नहीं, मगर वो रीजन मैं आपको समझाऊंगा. वो लीडिंग एज का एक सीक्रेट आपको देके जाऊंगा. हियर्स माय मिस्टेक नंबर 1. मैं कर क्या रहा था? मैं सक्सेस के पीछे इतना भाग गया कि मेरा वैल्यू सिस्टम ये था, फर्स्ट वर्क, कुछ भी हो जाए 15 घंटे 18 घंटे काम करना है, which is good, not a problem. वर्क के बाद सोशल वर्क. Why? Because मुझे नाम कमाना है. सोशल वर्क के बाद फैमिली, अगर समय बच गया तो फैमिली के लिए, उसके बाद अगर समय बच गया तो अपने लिए. तो अपने खुद के साथ रिश्ता ही नहीं बना. जब मैं बीमार पड़ा, जब ये ज्ञान आया और महावीर की एक बात समझ में आई, स्वपर, उस सब्जेक्ट को लेकर मैंने चिंतन किया. What does Mahavir say? What does Buddha say when they say swapar? What is swapar? Only 2 words. Research के साथ I went deep down to understand how does the psychology work, what do they do, and I got to know this, that Mahavir Buddha never preached anybody at all until they were quiet, until they got all that they wanted, when they got the answers, when they knew everything the way it should be, and they saw there's so much of pain in the world. Then they opened the mouth, not because they wanted something for themselves, because they wanted others to live in happiness. Wow! I said, this is amazing. यानी कि वो भी कह रहे हैं पहले वो अपने ऊपर प्रयोग करो, पहले अपने आप को सक्षम बनाओ, make yourself so strong and live your life with examples so that you can inspire others. That's living edge. You don't talk because you talk. You talk because you've experienced the pain and the pleasure. You've seen success and happiness, and because you know what real happiness is, you then talk. That's leading edge. Wow. तो मैंने कहा, why don't I do the same? ये राहुल कपूर जिसके प्रोग्राम में 50 लोग आने थे, इंग्लिश में बोलता था, वही राहुल कपूर ने एक प्रण किया, I want to change and dedicate my entire life to inspire other human beings. इंग्लिश से हिंदी में आया, 5 से पहला प्रोग्राम में मैं उठा, and I got up. मैंने एक प्रोग्राम की कल्पना की, चरण स्पर्श, जिए कैसे साथ में. The first program was 7,000 people in Surat. आज उस प्रोग्राम का 30 सिटीज का टूर कर रहा हूँ, हजारों लोग प्रोग्राम में आते हैं, अमेरिका में ये प्रोग्राम चला गया, दुबई में चला गया, people are coming. Why? Because वो सीख मैं आपको देने जा रहा हूँ. मैंने किया क्या जिंदगी में? I just looked at my value system और मैं इसको घुमा दिया. I said first me, फिर my family, then my work, and then the charity. या तो ताली मारने में हम लोग चैरिटी के अंदर इतना चक्कर खा जाते हैं कि खुद के परिवार को भूल जाते हैं. बाहर हमें शोहरत अच्छी लगती है, नाम अच्छा लगता है, अंदर से खोखले हो जाते हैं. But you know what? The moment I changed and I put the focus here, I started to realize कि मेरा खाना, मेरा पीना, मेरा meditation, मेरे लिए सब कुछ है. 24 घंटे के अंदर 3 hours for myself every day. मैं दुनिया में कहीं भी हूँ, 3 hours for myself every day. Look at how do you find the time? I choose to find the time. And then, हर successful इंसान को देखा, they do exactly the same. They first time find time for themselves. 3 लीटर पानी नहीं पिया तो जिंदगी क्या जी? उस पानी का साइंस भी कभी समझाऊंगा कि how the 3 liter of water converts into cells in 9 months. but आज नहीं करेंगे. उसके बाद मैंने काम किया 2 फल, 2 fruits every day. उसके बाद मैंने काम किया meditation 1 hour every day. उसके बाद तो 2 घंटे करता हूँ और कभी-कभी 10 days non-stop meditation, माउंट व्रत के साथ. फिर मैंने काम किया कि यार खाना कैसे खाए, तो रात को खाना बंद कर दिया. फिर मैंने कहा कि खाना कितनी बार खाए, 3 बार खाना. जितना खाना कम किया, आंखें बंद की. I went into the world that exists within us. जो महावीर बुद्ध कृष्ण ने किया, जीसस अल्लाह ने किया. अपनी आंखों को बंद रखा, अपने मुंह को बंद रखा, अपने 5 मिनटों को कंट्रोल में किया, अपने मन को समझा, राग और द्वेष से निकले. And then you realize the power that is there. I was like, wow. हम क्यों मैनेजमेंट की बात वेस्टर्न कंट्री से इंडिया में लेके आए? I said I want to turn the whole thing around. और आज मैं विश्व भर में जाता हूँ, फॉरेनर सुनते हैं इंडिया का कॉन्सेप्ट, इंडियन बंदा एक वेस्टर्न कंट्री से सीखता है. Something incredible happens. एक सब्जेक्ट उठाऊंगा, उस सब्जेक्ट को समझा के समाप्त कर दूंगा. अब देखिए होता क्या है, ये होता है. हमारे सारे के सारे भगवान ऐसे बैठे हैं. This is how they are. ये है क्या? What is this? इसको समझने के लिए मैंने सालों लगा दिए, महीने लगाए. मुझे इसके रूट में जाना था, और रूट में ये पता चला, you can cure yourself completely, absolutely, completely with all diseases you have of the mind, of the body, of the emotions. हमारे भगवान शांत रहते हैं, और हम exactly उनका opposite करते हैं. हमारे भगवान प्रेम की बात करते हैं, we do exactly the opposite होता है. हमारे भगवान दूसरों को दया की बात करते हैं, we do exactly the opposite होता है. अरे दया हम अपने आप से नहीं करते हैं, इतना अपने आप को रोज कोसते रहते हैं हम. That is what they are doing. They're quiet. Why I love Indian culture so much? Why I love Indian spiritual content so much? Because यहाँ पर हमारे भगवान आंखें बंद करके जी रहे हैं, और हम पूरी दुनिया में आंखें खोल के जीते हैं. हम पूरी लाइफ टाइम में 1 या 2 डिग्री पा लेते हैं, वो आंखें बंद करके 6,000 सिद्धियां प्राप्त कर लेते हैं. यहाँ हम किताबों की के पीछे भागते हैं, पैसों के पीछे भागते हैं, वहां वो अनंत सुख अंदर भागते हैं. And the deeper you go within yourself, you create so much of abundance, which is why I keep telling everybody in the world, you can live one life here in the outside world, in the Western cultural orientation, or you can live hundreds of lives every day by closing your eyes with Indian culture, which is why I love Indian culture so much. मगर इसको उतारना था जीवन के अंदर. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Get ready for this. मेरा पहला और स्वीट कॉन्सेप्ट आपके लिए वादा करता हूँ अगले 20 मिनट में जो कहूँगा आपके जीवन को परिवर्तन करने का एक बहुत भरपूर मौका मिलेगा आपको. This body is not just full of bones, blood, nerves. ये नहीं है. इस शरीर के अंदर इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक एनर्जी चलती है, इस शरीर के अंदर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चलती है, इस शरीर के अंदर केमिकल्स है, इस शरीर के अंदर ना जाने ऐसी ऐसी चीजें जिसको आप जानते नहीं है, जैसे प्रोटॉन्स है, न्यूरॉन्स है, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, उसको समझाम है. और वहां से एक बात उठाई जो आपको समझाऊंगा. योर बॉडी इज फुल ऑफ केमिकल्स. जब आप बीमार पड़ते हो तो डॉक्टर आपको क्या देता है? मेडिसिन. मेडिसिन इज व्हाट? केमिकल्स. जो केमिकल कम हो गया मेडिसिन से, वो केमिकल की भरपाई होती है. योर बैक टू नॉर्मल. अग्री? महावीर, बुद्ध, कृष्ण, जीसस क्या कहते हैं? They say you don't need external medicine because this body can produce all the chemicals you want. प्रूव करके बताता हूँ. पहला केमिकल ऑक्सीटोसिन. बोलिए. Now say like you mean it. Say ऑक्सीटोसिन. ऑक्सीटोसिन क्या काम करता है? विश्वास पैदा करता है. ऑक्सीटोसिन की शुरुआत कहाँ से होती है? अब बताता हूँ. आप में से कितने लोगों ने एक बच्चे को जन्म दिया? हाथ पकड़िए. ओके, गुड, ग्रेट, हैंड्स डाउन. जब आपका बच्चा 9 महीने का हो गया है, कुक के अंदर है, उसको बाहर आना है, एक संघर्ष शुरू होता है. There is a fight between, there's a struggle between the child and you and the doctor. The nurse says push. You say ah, and the kid is pushing the opposite side. You say push, push, and the kid is in the opposite side. The kid doesn't want to come out. Why? Because the kid is scared. उसमें विश्वास नहीं है कि मैं बाहर आके जी पाऊंगा. तो आप संघर्ष करिए, वो संघर्ष कर रहा है. It's in the opposite direction. कुदरत, and this is why I love Indian spirituality. I am a fan. होता है क्या वहां पर कि माँ के कोख के अंदर जो हो रहा है एक क्षण के लिए, किसमें? एक क्षण. क्षण is 1,000 of a second. There is no English translation for क्षण. एक क्षण के लिए माँ के दिमाग को ये पता चलता है कि my kid doesn't want to come out because उसको विश्वास नहीं है. तो माँ का शरीर ऑटोमेटिकली ऑक्सीटोसिन नाम का एक केमिकल क्रिएट करता है, बच्चे के दिमाग में जाता है, उसको विश्वास आता है, घूमता है, सर को बूम बाहर आता है. कोई डॉक्टर्स है यहाँ पे? एनी डॉक्टर्स? मैम, ऑक्सीटोसिन. अगर हम सिजेरियन करके बच्चे को बाहर निकालें तो पहला इंजेक्शन कौन सा देंगे? अगर बच्चे को हम सिजेरियन करके, आप गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट है?
या.
जब बच्चा अगर सिजेरियन से बाहर आएगा तो फर्स्ट इंजेक्शन कौन सा होगा? ऑक्सीटोसिन का. Why? कभी सोचा है? Because oxytocin is the one which gives you confidence, which gives you faith. उसको हम कहते हैं trust. तो जैसे उस बच्चे में विश्वास पैदा होता है, वो बाहर आता है. Leading edge connection, be with me. Stay connected for a few minutes. अब ये विश्वास जो है बच्चा पा लेता है, मगर बच्चा रोता है, right or wrong? तो हम कहते हैं बच्चा रो रहा है, उसको भूख लगी है, उसको दूध पिलाते हो. बच्चा कहता है किसको तुम्हारा दूध चाहिए यार? बच्चा तो माँ की धड़कन को सुन रहा है. तो जब वो धड़कन को सुनता है, विश्वास पैदा होता है, ऑक्सीटोसिन वापस पैदा होता है. दूध से भी ऑक्सीटोसिन मिलता है. मैंने रिसर्च की कि जेल के अंदर जो लोग बैठे हैं उनका बैकग्राउंड क्या था. जिसने रेप किया, जिसने किसी का खून किया, जो टेररिस्ट है, रिसर्च में यह आता है कि जिसको माँ का प्यार नहीं मिला, माँ का दूध नहीं मिला, वो जाके एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट्स बनते हैं. लुक एट द कनेक्शन. नाउ लेट्स कम बैक हियर. अब ये बच्चा जो है उसको जब माँ की धड़कन सुनाई देती है तो वो खुद ऑक्सीटोसिन क्रिएट करता है. And now let's connect what Varun was saying, what you're looking at, your business and everything else, and see how wonderful Indian scriptures has answers to everything. अब ये कहता है कि आपकी छोटी बच्ची है, 1 साल, 2 साल, 3 साल, आप क्या करेंगे? उसको हग करेंगे, किस करेंगे, रोज 10 बार, 25 बार, मेरा पप्पू, मेरा क्यूटी पाए, मेरा स्वीटी पाए, मेरा पुप्सी पाए. ये होता क्या है? आप जो बाहर से कर रहे हो, बच्चे के और आपके शरीर के अंदर ऑक्सीटोसिन क्रिएट हो रहा है. Are you with me? Now see how we go wrong in life. ये आपका छोटा बच्चा जिसको आप रोज 25, 30, 40 बार हग करते हैं, किस करते हैं, वो बच्चा 10 साल का हो गया, आपकी किस और हग होना कम हो जाता है. उसके साथ साथ आप कंपेयर करते हो. बच्चे बोलते वो देख पड़ोसी का बेटा सबकी बात सुनता है, कितनी अच्छी पढ़ाई करता है, माँ बाप के सामने नहीं बोलता है, वो पूजा करता है. वो आपका बच्चा अंदर से सोचा है गोद ले लो. हम कहीं गलत जा रहे हैं. ये आपका बच्चा 10 साल का, 16 साल का हो गया. Now 16 years. 16 इयर्स का बच्चा, 18 इयर्स का बच्चा आपकी सुनता ही नहीं है, वो तो हमेशा दोस्तों के पास है। आपका क्वेश्चन मार्क दोस्तों के पास क्यों? आंसर कहीं और है। वो इसलिए है क्योंकि जो ऑक्सीटोसिन उसको चाहिए आप नहीं दे रहे हो, उसका फ्रेंड्स उसको देता है, हाथ मिलाता है, गले मिलता है, व्हाट्सएप टूर कहता है, तो ऑक्सीटोसिन आदान प्रदान। प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम कब होगी? अगर आपका लड़का लड़की के पास ऑक्सीटोसिन लेता है। फिर आप कहते हैं मेरा लड़का सुनता नहीं, लड़की यहाँ चली गई, लड़का वहां भाग गया, और देयर इज समथिंग एल्स, प्रॉब्लम कहीं और, सॉल्यूशन कहीं और। रुकिए रुकिए, ये अगर बच्चा 24 साल का हो गया, दिस पर्सन बिकम्स 24 इयर्स, उसकी शादी हो जाती है, ऑक्सीटोसिन कौन देगा? माँ कहती है अभी भी शादी हुई है, 2 साल नहीं हुए हैं, तो उसकी सुनता है, मेरी तो सुनता ही नहीं है। व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विद यू? 9 महीने कोख में मैंने रखा, खून कहाँ है? खून का रिश्ता कहाँ है? मैं लोगों को बताऊं, खून का रिश्ता कुछ नहीं होता है, ऑक्सीटोसिन का देता है। जो ऑक्सीटोसिन देता है उसका आदमी बन जाता है। Hey, hang on, wait a minute. मैं लीडिंग एज की बात कर रहा हूँ, और लीडिंग एज के लिए ऊपर नहीं अंदर जाना है। मैं अंदर जो हमारे शरीर के अंदर हो रहा है वो बात समझा रहा हूँ। आपका हस्बैंड वाइफ का रिलेशनशिप तो अच्छा था, हनीमून तक 2 साल और चला, तीसरे साल प्रॉब्लम्स क्यों आती है? प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है? मैंने आपके बच्चों की प्रॉब्लम ले ली, वाइफ की, हस्बैंड की, माँ की, सब ले ली, बट सोल्यूशन कहीं और है। लुक एट दैट, बिकॉज 3 साल के बाद आपका एक बच्चा हो गया। बच्चा होने के पहले अगर आप झगड़ते थे, you used to make up with each other, you used to hug, kiss each other, you were able to resolve the problem, ऑक्सीटोसिन वहां से आता था। अब बच्चा आ गया, आप झगड़ते हो और आप हग नहीं करते हो, आप सॉल्यूशन नहीं ढूंढते हो, मगर आप ऑक्सीटोसिन आपके छोटे बच्चे के पास से ले रहे हो, तो अब बच्चा आ गया तो वाइफ के साथ झगड़ा हो जाता है, दूसरे बच्चे में और ज्यादा हो जाता है। Stop here. Let's talk of leading edge. I'm not here to talk to you about just business. I'm here to talk about your life. Your life exists with your parents as well. Your parents are 65, 70. They are at home. Who gives them oxytocin? अकेले पड़े रहते हैं, बीमारियां शुरू होती है। थायराइड कहते हैं कि भाई it's an issue with the hormones. Of course, I agree with you. Allergies, back pain, neck pain. इसकी research Dr. Johnson ने की. None of them are issues of medical problem. They are of emotional problem. एक वो ज़माना था, I love Indian culture, I love it. एक वो इंडिया का ज़माना था जब हमारे पेरेंट्स बूढ़े थे तो हम क्या करते थे? I'm 42, जब मैं 13 साल का था, 10 साल का था, मैं रात को सोते वक्त अपने मम्मी पापा के पैर दबा के उनको किस करके सोता था। जब मैं पैर दबाता था, मीन्स वो ऑक्सीटोसिन देता था उनको, उनका ऑक्सीटोसिन मैं लेता था। मगर आजकल हम लोग टेलीविजन, we are in our mobile phones, we are in our WhatsApp, we are on our Facebook, and what's happening to all of us? We are not able to produce oxytocin, and therefore we don't get good night's sleep, and our parents don't get, and therefore we give them Serenase 0.25 mg for sleeping, right, man? कितना काम चलेगा? 1-2 महीने उसके बाद वो नींद भी नहीं आएगी आपको. And that's my answer for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to live a beautiful life, you gotta understand what's happening within you. इसके पैसे नहीं लगते हैं, इसके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ इमोशन एंड अवेयरनेस लगती है. रिश्ता खून का नहीं होता है, ऑक्सीटोसिन का. मेरे बात में दर्द होता नहीं जरूर. You know, I love you, my life. What is the logic of me making you clap? हमारा second chemical, serotonin. जोर से बोलिए. Oh, say like you mean it. Come on. Serotonin ये क्या होता है? मैंने अभी आपको कहा ताली मारी, आपने ताली मारी. अब देखिए मैं क्या क्या करता हूँ. Okay, just see, observe what happens. मैम आपका नाम क्या है? Yes. स्नेहल. स्नेहल में खड़ी हो जाइए आप. मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूँ ये हरा रंग आपके ऊपर कितना सुंदर दिखता है. You look so beautiful. मुझे पता नहीं आपकी उम्र क्या है, मगर मैं पूछना भी चाहता हूँ. आज मैं माँ को गले नहीं मिल पाया बिकॉज मम्मी ओली करने गई है और मैं यहाँ पर भारत भ्रमण कर रहा हूँ. क्या मैं आपको आपके पास आके आप आशीर्वाद ले सकता हूँ? ठीक है, मैं आपके गले में चलेगा. मैं आपको कहूँ कि आप कितनी सुंदर लग रही है. अब मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ आपके साथ? एक तो मैं आपको भारतीय संस्कृति समझा रहा हूँ, उसके साथ साथ जब मैंने आपको अप्रिशिएट किया तो मैंने आपके शरीर के अंदर सेरोटोनिन नाम का केमिकल प्रोड्यूस किया. I'll tell you how this works. Okay, observe how this works. The moment you appreciate someone, what happens in your body? A chemical called serotonin pushes up. What does it do? Look at the science. I love this. The moment serotonin comes up, आपका मूड अच्छा होता है. अगर आपका मूड अच्छा होगा तो उस दिन आप काम कैसा करेंगे? बोलो जोर से बोलो. अगर आप काम अच्छा करोगे तो भूख कैसे लगेगी, जोर से बोलो। अगर भूख अच्छी लगेगी तो पचन कैसे होगा? अच्छा, तो रात को सोएंगे कैसे? अच्छे से। सवेरे उठेंगे कैसे? अच्छे से। वाह डॉक्टर साहब, आपका बिजनेस खराब होने वाला है, आप देखिए। कोई मेडिसिन नहीं लेने वाला है। आपने तो छोटा काम किया, आपने प्रशंसा की। यू जस्ट अप्रिशिएट, यू अप्रिशिएट हियर, योर मूड इंप्रूव, योर वर्क quality improved, your hunger improved, digestive system improved, your results improved, you slept well, you woke up well. Ladies and gentlemen, the leading edge, learn to appreciate other people, but before that, learn to appreciate yourself. Do you know something? हम अपने आप को रोज खोजते हैं, मैं ऐसी हूँ, मैं वैसी हूँ, मैं ऐसा नहीं कर सकती, मैं वैसा नहीं कर सकती. Like what Warren was saying, you think. He says, don't think. Why is he saying don't think? Because there's a huge psychology associated with that. The moment you overthink and you get negative, your entire body mechanism goes wrong. आपके शरीर के अंदर क्या changes आती है? I can speak, but today, in a short session, I can only tell you how much I can, but someday in life, or my videos, you should check them out. This is your body, and the body has a huge way of responding. The moment you appreciate the water content in your body, which is 75%, उस water content को positive charge मिलता है, and that water content is the one which forms your body, that runs your body, and diseases बाहर सिर्फ पानी के content से चली जाती है. The water in your body is talking to your mind. When the mind talks to the body negatively, it becomes polluted. When the mind talks positively, it becomes absolutely free and pure, and the pure water movement in the body changes everything. ये experiment हम करके बता सकते हैं, मगर आज समय नहीं है, but I just want to give you a small input. You gotta learn to appreciate people. लीडिंग एज है, सब लोग इनको छूते हैं, सब लोग इनको नमते हैं, सब लोग इनको देख के बोलते हैं वाह महावीर, वाह बुद्ध, वाह जीसस, वाह. क्यों? ये तो कुछ कर ही नहीं रहे, कुछ ना करते हुए भी सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. What are they doing? ये जो चीजें हैं ना, पूरी जिंदगी में किसी को वो नकारात्मक बात नहीं करते. No negativity, only positivity for self and others. जिस भगवान को पूछते हो, उस भगवान के गुणों को समझो. That is leadership, the best leadership in the world. That is leading edge. So why do I ask you to clap? Because आप clap करते हो, आप मुझे appreciate करते हो, आपका और मेरा दोनों का serotonin बढ़ रहा है free में. तालियां हो रहा है, please just clap for each other. Free. जैसे मेरा talk आज body free. Serotonin. बात खत्म नहीं हुई अभी तक. तीसरी बात है, हमने बात की ऑक्सीटोसिन, हमने बात की सेरोटोनिन. तीसरी बात एंडोर्फिन. बोलिए. ये सारी बातें मैंने रिसर्च करके आपके सामने प्रेजेंट किए. डॉक्टर ए के सिंह जो इंडिया के न्यूट्रिशनल एक्सपर्ट हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के, वो मेरे सेशन में बैठे थे, मुझे सुना, फिर मुझे बुलाया, मैं उनके सेशन में गया, हम 2 दिन बातें की. वो मेडिकल फील्ड में रिसर्च में नंबर 1 है, मैं अपने फील्ड में काम करता हूँ. हमने कहा कि ये कंटेंट दुनिया तक लेके जाना क्या मजा है. चेक दिस आउट. एंडोर्फिन एक अमेजिंग चीज है. उसके पहले मैं थोड़ी शादी की बात कर रहा था. मेरी खुद की शादी की, तो हम बहुत झगड़ते थे, हम पति फाइट. तो मेरे गुरु के पास गया, गुरु ने कहा, by the way, I'm speaking of my guru today. मेरे गुरु जी हैं वल्लभ जी बंसाली. He's an investment banker, इनाम सिक्योरिटीज मुंबई से. He's one of the world's most prolific thinker, साधु in my opinion. उन्हें मिला और जीवन परिवर्तित हुआ. जब मैं पलंग से बाहर निकला तो उनके कारण, just with the power of mind, जो मुझे आज मिला है मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. जो भी है गुरु का है, मेरा कुछ नहीं. Understand? That's the beauty of Indian knowledge. जो है हम कहते हैं हमारा गुरु का. वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में जो है उसका कॉपीराइट, वो जो उनका है ही नहीं. चलो ऐसे बात. तो अब मैं गुरु जी के पास गया, मतलब मजाक कर रहा हूँ. गुरु जी के पास गया, मतलब ये मजाक कर रहा हूँ. गुरु जी के पास गया, गुरु जी को बोला, गुरु जी मैं और मेरी वाइफ बहुत झगड़ते हैं. तो उसने बोला राहुल अप्रिशिएट कर वाइफ को. मैं बोला किसके लिए? और वो खाना बनाती है अप्रिशिएट. ऐसे कम ऑन गुरुजी, व्हाट्स सो बिग डील अबाउट दैट? दैट्स योर रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. ही हैज टू कुक. राहुल डोंट आर्ग्यू, गो अप्रिशिएट. आई सेड ओके डन. आई वेंट होम, रोटी खाई, बोला वाह अमेजिंग रोटी. सब्जी खाई, ऐसे वाह. सीरा खाया, मैं बोला वाह. उसने कटोरी उठाई, फेंकी मेरे पर. था What the hell is this? This is unfair. यार क्या कर रही हो? गुरुजी के पास गया, गुरुजी आपने जो कहा हो तो उल्टा पड़ गया. I appreciate her and she's throwing कटोरी on me. राहुल पूरी बात करो. लेकिन मैं घर गया, रोटी खा के से वाह, सब्जी खा के बोला वाह, सीरा में बोला वाह. उसने कटोरी फेंकी. गुरुजी बोला राहुल पूरी बात कर. तो मैं बोला गुरुजी उसने ये कहा 15 साल से खाना बना रही हूँ, कभी अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया. आज एक दिन काम वाली ने खाना बनाया, अप्रिशिएट कर. हंसना कितना आसान है, मगर हम जीते कैसे? डॉक्टर मदन कटारिया मेरे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं, बैंगलोर से है। बैंगलोर के बहुत अच्छे लोग यहाँ पर आते हैं और बात करते हैं। वो पेशेवर एक डॉक्टर थे, बट ही गिव अप हिज प्रोफेशन। इसे यार रोज मेडिसिन दो, आदमी रोज बीमार पड़ जाता है, कुछ तो गलत है। उन्होंने अपनी रिसर्च शुरू की एंड ही गॉट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट एंडोर्फिन नाम का एक केमिकल अगर वो काम करे तो आदमी का शरीर बीमारी ना पड़े। तो ही गिव अप हिज प्रोफेशन और वो पार्क में गए और लोगों को हंसाना शुरू किया। आपने देखा होगा पार्क में लोग हंसते हैं पागलों जैसे, तो उन्होंने हंसाना शुरू किया। हंसाना करते 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 18,000 चैप्टर्स खुले ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में, फ्री। ये राहुल कपूर जो आपके सामने बात कर रहा था, इतना सक्सेसफुल था और हंसता नहीं था। मेरी खुद की वाइफ और बच्चे कहते थे पापा कभी तो हंसो। हंसना भूल गया था, जीना भूल गया था। आज मैं आपको ये बात कह रहा हूँ because I realize the power of it. मैं आपको एक्सपेरिमेंट करके बताता हूँ, पागलों के जैसे। ओके, दोनों हाथ ऊपर करिए ना, सोचिए मत, जोर जोर से हंसना है पागलों जैसे, सोचना नहीं, खाली हंसना है। ऐसे हंसोगे लगा के कोई हंस रहा है। 1 2 3 गो। अरे जोर से हंसो, जोर से हंसो। अब मैं अवेयरनेस लेके जाता हूँ, बोलते किसी भी अवेयरनेस व्हाट हैपेंस। ओके, अब दोनों हाथ को ऊपर करके हंसना है और हंसते हंसते यहाँ पर इतना जोर से हंसना है कि आपको खिंचाव दिखाई दे, आप महसूस कर पाओ कि खिंचाव हो रहा है। आपके ब्रेथ में क्या हो रहा है चेक करना है। दोनों हाथ पकड़िए, नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट। जोर से और जोर से देखिए, ऑब्जर्व मी, सी ऑब्जर्व। व्हाट एम आई डूइंग हियर? मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ? मेरे एब्डोमिनल मसल्स को मैं इतना पुल कर रहा हूँ कि खाना अच्छा पचन होगा। मैं जब सांस ले रहा हूं तो ऑक्सीजन इतना जा रहा है कि मेरे बॉडी का सर्कुलेशन ऑफ ब्लड इंप्रूव हो रहा है। जब ये दोनों चीज होती है और उसके साथ साथ जो हमारे दिमाग के अंदर जो 10 किलो का 100 किलो का प्रेशर है वो रिलीज हो जाता है। दैट्स द पावर ऑफ लाफिंग। हम हंसना क्यों भूल गए? We talk leading edge. Rahul, give me some management gyan that's going to change my life. Give me a model that's going to change everything. And I've done exactly that in my life. आज सवेरे वही कर रहा था, corporate company में था, मैं उनको बता रहा था कि business कैसे करते हैं, how to achieve your targets and come to me the next year. And they all gave me a standing ovation. Like, wow, Rahul Kapoor. Last में उनको कह के गया, you got to spend time with yourself to understand. और आज का सेशन सिर्फ आपकी बात कर रहा हूँ. That's the leading edge. You are the ladies, the whole makeup. अगर आप एक लेडी होकर अपने जीवन को जिए तो आपके साथ साथ एक परिवार खुश हो जाए। बच्चे, बूढ़े, परिवार के आपका जो मैं आपको आज दे रहा हूँ ये फ्री क्यों दे रहा हूँ वो भी समझा। 1.5 साल से मेरे पीछे पड़ी है। Come for the program, come for the program, come for the program, come for the program. ऐसे फीस तो दो, फीस नहीं दूंगी, फ्री में आओ, फ्री में आओ, फ्री में आओ। कभी भी पूछो फ्री में आओ। मैं यहाँ जयपुर आ रहा था, बोला भाई मैं आ रहा हूँ तुम्हारा प्रोग्राम भी करके जाऊँगा। मगर इन्होंने मेरे फाउंडेशन के लिए कुछ डोनेशन दिया, ये बात माननी पड़ेगी। मगर मैंने उनको बात में कहा मेरा नया घर बन रहा है, मुझे आर्किटेक्ट चाहिए, फ्री में आएगी। वो नहीं, वो तो आपका पर्सनल है, हमारा तो प्रोफेशन, हमारा तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। हंसना कितना आसान है। बट मैंने जब ये बात अपने आप को पूछी तो मुझे पता था कि मैं आपको वो दे रहा हूं जो मुझे दुनिया से मिला है। माँ का प्यार, बहन का प्यार, धर्मपत्नी का प्यार, 2 बच्चियों का प्यार। मेरे जीवन में आज मैं जो भी हूँ सिर्फ और सिर्फ नारी शक्ति के कारण। और आपको मैं गिफ्ट दे रहा हूँ अपने ही वाले से समारोह से अपना। Why do I ask you? सेशन के लास्ट 5 साल में मैं खत्म करूंगा। Why do I ask you? Clap and laugh and live. क्योंकि सब एक चीज भूल जाते हो। Observe what Varun was saying. उसके बाद में जबरदस्त दम था। इसे जा रहा है पल, अब उसको एनालाइज करते हैं। ये पल गया, उसके साथ जो जो एनर्जी थी वो भी गई। ये पल गया, उसकी भी एनर्जी गई। ये पल गया, उसकी भी एनर्जी गई है। तो ऑप्शन है, पल जाते जाते एनर्जी को पूरा यूज कर ही लो ना। ताली मारनी तो पूरी मारी लो ना, हंसना तो पूरा हंसी लो ना, खाना खाना तो पूरा खा ही लो ना, बात करनी तो पूरी कर ही लो ना। ये मेरे को 10 दिन से फोन करिए, एक व्हाट्सएप का मैसेज डालो, एक वॉइस मैसेज डालो, और मैं भारत भ्रमण कर रहा हूँ, टाइम ही नहीं है, 2-2 बजे तक मैं रात को सोता नहीं हूँ। इनको मैं बोला भैया मैं बात नहीं करूँगा तुमसे। जैसे मेरा आज का प्रोग्राम हुआ 12 बजे खत्म, मैंने फोन उठाया, आधा घंटा बात किया, जितना बोलना बोलो। वाई? बिकॉज जब मैं आपके साथ हूँ तो मैं आपके साथ पूरी तरीके से I was for you. मेरे बच्चे हैं ना, जब मैं कंप्यूटर में काम करता हूँ, बच्चे आते हैं, I tell my kids, I'm not with you right now, baby. I tell them I'm not with you. मैं नहीं कहता हाँ तू बोलो, I say I'm not with you. जब ये काम हो गया, I'm with you. जब मैं बच्चों के साथ हूँ, I'm not with my mobile phone. जब मैं मोबाइल पे हूँ, मेरी वाइफ आती है, I tell her I'm not with you. But when I'm wife, I am with her, I'm not with anybody else. मेरे फोन के अंदर एक स्पेशल ऐप है। आपका फोन जब आप फ्लाइट में होते हो तो फ्लाइट मोड में होता है, करेक्ट? मेरे फोन में एक स्पेशल मोड है जिसको मैं कहता हूँ लाइफ मोड। मैं लाइफ मोड में जाता हूँ, दुनिया की कोई शक्ति मुझे वहां से हटा नहीं सकती है। बहुत ठोकर खा के यहां तक पहुंचा। Last and final, and I'll close with this. D, O, oxytocin, S, serotonin, E, endorphin, एक आखिरी केमिकल, and I'll wrap this up, आपको छोटा गिफ्ट दूंगा, and then we'll do A, एक और है D, dopamine, बोलो, अरे जोर से बोलो dopamine। मारवाड़ी लोग कितने हैं? मारवाड़ी लोग हाथ पकड़ एक पहले पता होता तो वैसे नहीं करता मैं मारवाड़ी में कहता डोपामिन ना, तो मारवाड़ी लोग कहते हैं डोपा बनावेंगे। आपने डोपा नहीं बना रही हो, आपने एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करो कि शरीर में कोई जबरदस्त ताकत है, कोई ताकत है। डोपामिन कुछ नया करने से डोपामिन नाम का केमिकल रिलीज होता है। ये दारू पीने वाले होते हैं ना, वो दारू को देखते हुए डोपामिन बढ़ जाता है। अब वरुण ने बात की ना कि हम दारू पी रहे थे, हमने टिश्यू पेपर पर कुछ लिखा, वो क्या, वो डोपामिन। और इसने एक और बात की कि अगर कुछ करना है तो 20 सेकंड में कर लो। क्यों? बिकॉज जब डोपामिन काम कर रहा है, यू गॉट द पावर टू डू थिंग्स। ये डोपामिन कैसे काम करता है? कुछ नया करो, दैट्स इट। जैसे हम शादी में होते हैं, नई शादी, क्या डोपामिन होता है हमारा। आपकी वाइफ चल रही है और वाइफ नीचे गिर जाती है ठोकर खा के, आप वाइफ को कहते हो ठीक तो है, डोपामिन। 5 साल के बाद नो डोपामिन, वाइफ नीचे गिरती है, अंधी है, डोपामिन क्या है? लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, कुछ नया करो। भाभी जी आप खड़े हो जाइए, आपने ब्लू साड़ी पहनी है, कितने सुंदर दिख रही है आप, मगर आप सुंदर हो, मैं देख रहा हूं, आपको अप्रिशिएट कर रहा हूं, आपका पति कहीं और है। बैठिए, हम हमारे पति के लिए कब तैयार होते हैं? कुछ ओकेजन हो, कुछ उत्सव हो। तो मैं लोग बताओ, रोज उत्सव मनाओ। आप मेरे लिए नहीं, अपने लिए नहीं, अपने परिवार के लिए रोज सुंदर बनो। कपड़े ही नहीं, दिमाग दिल से सुंदर बनो। डोपामिन में जाओ। That is our life. That's the leading edge. The edge that makes you happy, makes people around you happy, makes the world happy. That's the life. कुछ नया करो। मैं अपनी मम्मी को लेके गया दुबई। Me and my mom. मम्मी को दुबई लेने के पहले मम्मी को मैं लेके गया सलून में, उनके हेयर स्टाइल किया, आगू कलर करवाया, माँ को सलवार पहनाया। मेरी माँ 65 की थी, अब 72 के आसपास है। तो मैं माँ को लेके गया, सीधा का सीधा इमिग्रेशन काउंटर। उसने कहा who's this lady? I said sir, she is my girlfriend. ये आपकी girlfriend? Yes sir, my first girlfriend, my mother. Wow. माँ को लेके गया, दुबई घुमाया, ये घुमाया, सब कुछ घुमाने के बाद माँ को लेके आया। उसका मन कितना आया होगा? अरे वो बात छोड़ दो, 7 साल के बाद माँ कहती है राहुल घुमाने गया था, राहुल घुमाने गया था, राहुल घुमाने गया था। हर बार कहती है उनके फ्रेंड्स को, तो डोपामिन इंक्रीज हो रहा है। That's the power of dopamine. कुछ नया करो, कुछ नया करो। जब मैं इंडिया में था, मुझे लगता था 60 इयर्स में मैं मर जाऊंगा, लाइफ खत्म हो जाएगी, बूढ़ा हो जाऊंगा। That was it. जब पहली बार अमेरिका गया तो I love this about अमेरिका। 80 साल का आदमी है, उसको भी खुद का काम करना पड़ता है। भले उनके संस्कार इतने अच्छे नहीं है, परिवार साथ में रहता है, बैड थिंग, बट 80 साल का आदमी काम करता है, 90 साल का आदमी काम करता है। मैं इंडिया में आया, I want to live as well, and I want to live with no diseases. कुछ नया करो। 80 साल का आदमी स्विमिंग सीखता है, कुछ नया करो। 60 साल की लेडी इंग्लिश क्लासेस जाती है, कुछ नया करो। अपने मम्मी पापा को लेके जाओ कैंडल लाइट डिनर, कुछ नया करो। अपने हस्बैंड को लेके जाओ, उसके बाद तुम किचन में खाना बना, कुछ नया एक आ लेना। कुछ नया करने से आपका डोपामिन बिल्ड होता है। लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, डी for dopamine, कुछ नया करो. O for oxytocin, hug करो, kiss करो, touch करो. S for serotonin, appreciate करो. E for endorphin, हंसो. DOSE, एक डोज खुशी का रोज हो जाए. अपनी आंखें बंद कर दीजिए और मैं आपको ये गिफ्ट देके यहाँ से प्रोग्राम को समाप्त करूँगा. उसके बाद हम विल बी ऑन as per plan exactly 60 minutes. 54 minutes हो चुका हो, 56 minutes हो चुका हो, 4 मिनट बाकी है. आपकी आंखों को बंद करके सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेरी आवाज सुननी है. अपने पापा के चेहरे को याद करिए, उनकी स्माइल, उनके चेहरे को देखिए, उनकी आंखों को देखिए. अगर आपके पापा इस दुनिया में नहीं है फिर भी उन्हें देखिए और पापा को ये कहिए, पापा मैं आपसे बहुत प्यार करती हूँ या करता हूँ. आज मैंने बात की अद्भुत शक्तियाँ जो हमारे शरीर के अंदर है, उसमें से एक छोटी की रिसर्च की मैंने और आपको मैंने बात कर डोपामाइन, ऑक्सीटोसिन, सेरोटोनिन, एंडोर्फिन. इसका कनेक्शन कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? पापा के साथ. माँ के चेहरे को याद करो, उसकी स्माइल को देखिए, उसकी हंसी को देखिए. वो माँ है जिसने 9 महीने आपको कोख में रखा. ये वो माँ है जिसने आपको हर खुशी दी. आपने भले उसकी कोख में लात मारी, उसने उफ तक नहीं की. उस माँ को देख कर कहिए, माँ आई लव यू, आपसे बहुत प्यार करता हूँ. ये करिए. मम्मी और पापा के चेहरे को याद करके देखिए. जब आप छोटे थे, चलना सीखते थे, नीचे गिर जाते थे, माँ बाप आपके लिए रोते थे. बीमार पड़ जाते थे, रात भर हमारे लिए चलते थे. स्कूल कॉलेज में कोई हमारी इंसल्ट कर देता था, हमें हक करके, प्यार करके विश्वास दिलाते थे. आज जो जो मैंने बातें की वो सब पापा ने हमारे लिए किया, माँ ने हमारे लिए किया. हमारे साथ हंसे, हमें अप्रिशिएट किया, हमें हक किया, हमें किस किया, हमें टच किया. हम बदलते गए मगर उनका प्यार जैसा था वैसा बना सके. We spoke about the leading edge today, and I chose to give you something which is so intrinsically in your own control, which is the power within. You can control that. You can live an inspired life by doing simple things like appreciating others, doing something new, laughing, enjoying, and of course appreciating. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आंखों से आंसू गिर रहे हैं, मैं चाहता हूँ ये अपनी आंखों को बंद करके मेरी आवाज सुनिए. अपने आप को एक वचन दीजिए आज कि यहाँ से जाने के बाद कुछ तो नया करेंगे, कुछ तो अलग करेंगे, जीवन को अच्छे से जिएंगे. अगर वो नहीं किया तो मेरी गुरु दक्षिणा पूरी नहीं होगी. तो इसलिए अपने आप के साथ एक संकल्प कीजिए. अपनी आंखों को खोलिए, मुझे देखिए. मैं हूँ राहुल कपूर जैन. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
I have a question. Firstly, of course, thank you, Arun. Thank you, Rahul. It's been really motivating and enlightening. Now, I have a question regarding what you just said, कि एक औरत का धर्म होता है. दिमाग में अभी आया इसलिए ऐसे पूछ रही हूँ. माँ का धर्म होता है, पत्नी का धर्म होता है. तो आपके हिसाब से एक आदमी का क्या धर्म होता है?
वैसे तो एक आदमी का धर्म ये होता है कि वो धर्म पति होके जिए. धर्म पति होके जिए. हमारे परिभाषा में लोग कहते हैं धर्म पत्नी. क्यों? क्योंकि पत्नी जो है वो एक ही मात्र ऐसी एक रिलेशनशिप है आदमी के जीवन के अंदर जो पति को मोक्ष मार्ग तक ले जा सकती है. इसलिए शास्त्र में कहा गया है धर्म पत्नी. मैंने शास्त्रों को चैलेंज किया और मैंने कहा कि अगर वो मेरी धर्म पत्नी बनती है. ये जो आपने कट देखा है, ये कट इसलिए था कि हम लोग धर्म को लेके, मेरे हाथ में एक कट है, हमने बॉटल फोड़ी थी एक दूसरे के सामने झगड़े के अंदर. और इसलिए क्योंकि हम उसके धर्म को मैं नहीं मानता था. उसका धर्म जैन धर्म, मेरा धर्म जैन. और उसका भक्ति के साथ आई शुड फाइट विद, आई शुड बी एंग्री विद, आई शुड डिटेस्ट दैट शी इज डूइंग समथिंग. क्यों करती हो तुम तपस्या? समझाओ. क्यों करती हो भक्ति? समझाओ. उसको समझने के लिए मैं एज अ पति मैंने क्या कोई कॉन्टेक्स्ट दे रहा था कि मैं आपको पति का कर्तव्य समझा सकूं. उसको गलत ठहराने के लिए मैंने शास्त्र पढ़े कि मैं उसको जाके कन्विंस करूं और कहूं कि तुम श्रद्धा से अंधकार में जी रही हो. और जब मैंने कोशिश की तब तक मुझे ज्ञान मिला, and every piece of knowledge I picked up, I converted myself and मैं उसके सामने झुक गया। आज वो भक्ति मार्ग से आगे बढ़ती है, मैं ज्ञान मार्ग से। मैं आपको ये बात कह दूं कि 5 और 2 7 होते हैं, 1 और 6 भी 7 होते हैं, 3 और 4 भी 7 होते हैं। आप अपने जीवन को जियो। I want you to understand that you may want to live your life with bhakti, with shraddha, with dhyan, or with gyan, or with karam, doesn't really matter. But remember what all the brilliant sages have said. सत्य खोजो। सत्य क्या? पूरा सत्य। पूरा सत्य कब दिखेगा? जब आपको केवल ज्ञान होगा। केवल ज्ञान मतलब क्या? सिर्फ ज्ञान और कुछ नहीं। केवल ज्ञान, सिर्फ ज्ञान, no interpretations, no perceptions। वहां तक की हमारी अवस्था नहीं है। And therefore when we are living, what is leading edge? When we are living, leading edge is not to tell a person that I am right, my truth is my truth, yours is not. The ability to say your truth is your truth, mine is mine, and we can all survive together. वो होता है एक पति का सत्य, और उसका वो होता है उसका कर्तव्य, वो होता है उसका कर्म, वो होता है उसका धर्म। अगर वो अपनी पत्नी के हर थॉट को एक्सेप्ट कर ले, तो उससे बड़ा कोई पति का धर्म हो नहीं सकता है। ये हमारी तो the mic is off, I guess. One of the mic is off.
Can you hear me? Well, I think most Indian couples are probably only unhappy because of one reason, is because they didn't choose them.
Because they
They didn't choose them, right? And if you choose your life partner, and I've seen this in most cases, it always ends up in happiness. And also, just to add another point, I don't choose to be with my mother. I moved out of the house because I don't want her life to be focused on me. I remember that as long as I stayed with my mother, her entire life was about me, but she never thought about herself. And she always liked dancing, but she couldn't go out partying because she thought about what people would think. And I said, who are people to decide what you should do, right? You like partying, you like dancing, you should go out. You want to go traveling by yourself, you should do that. So while I agree with your thoughts about Indian culture, I also feel Indian culture is too restrictive. It's too conservative, especially in the day and age, especially for women. And what I would want to say is that after a certain age, let go of it. Let them live their life, because it's important that you focus on yourself. Because if you start caring about your family, your children, your parents, everything, in the end the focus gets lost on you, right? We are born alone and we die alone. And like he had said, the focus should always be yourself first. And in order to do that, let go of your children after a age. Let go of things at a certain age. You want to go out dancing and partying? Go out dancing and partying. Stop caring about what people think. More importantly, while we are motivating you, it's very important to remember, you do not forget this tomorrow. Every time I've been motivated, I'm like, yes, I'm going to change the world for the next 5 minutes. I go back home, everything is gone, right? The only way to do this is to wake up every day and just remember, okay, I'm one step closer to getting to death, so how am I going to change my life? Have that on your calendar every day, one day closer, one day closer, one day closer. And yeah, while I appreciate your views on Indian culture, unfortunately, I think Indian culture is way too outdated for the world that we live in, and especially for women. That is my point.
Hello, everyone here. My name is Priya. Your talk was such a brain candy, both of you. Thanks so much for that. As Rahul has said, he's so much into meditation. I want to ask him that what tips can you give that we can also meditate properly? Because whenever I sit to meditate, I don't know from where the hell all the things come that time, that I'm never thinking about those things, but they come that time when I sit to meditate. So what one thing that you hold on and take your mind to control?
Okay, so see, I've been very fortunate to reach a point where I can meditate when I talk to you. I can meditate when I listen to Varun. I can meditate when you were disturbed for a while. है क्या चीज़? In one day you get 62,000 thoughts. 82,500 seconds में 62,000 thoughts approximately आते हैं. Science ने prove किया है. Meditation का मतलब क्या है? It's not a state where you're trying to control anything. It's a state where you're trying to observe. दर्शन करना है. किसका दर्शन करना है? सम्यक दर्शन करना है. सम्यक क्या? सच्चाई का दर्शन करना है. Oh, I'm a fan of Indian culture and systems. इतना जबरदस्त ज्ञान, इतना जबरदस्त ज्ञान, इतना जबरदस्त ज्ञान, इतना जबरदस्त ज्ञान कि बुद्ध और महावीर ने कहा कि तुम तपस्या करो। तो तपस्या करने से बहुत कुछ फायदे होते हैं। तो डॉक्टर कहते हैं तपस्या करने से बॉडी स्वस्थ रहता है। Nobel Prize in Medicine of 2016 has gone for a concept called autophagy. Autophagy is by a Japanese person. उसने ये explain किया है कि भाई जब हम one of his interesting thing, when we do tapasya, our body has a mechanism where the cells in the tissues burn themselves to give you energy, and therefore you can still do work after you have finished your after you have done your tapasya or when you're doing a tapasya. Plus, all the cells that are not wanted, which cannot come out of the body otherwise, जब हम तपस्या करते हैं तो वो जल के अंदर भस्म हो जाते हैं। ऑटोफैगी यानी कि खुद को खा लेने वाली ताकत, वो जो चीज़ है वो तपस्या की बात ये कर रहे हैं कि वो अनवांटेड सेल्स जिसके अंदर क्रॉनिक डिजीज यानी कि डायबिटीज, कैंसर, ना जाने कितनी डिजीज वो उसके सेल्स को मार देती है। और कहा कि जो अनवांटेड बैक्टीरिया को अटैक करते हैं उसको मारने की क्षमता, ये बात 2016 में मेडिकल साइंस ने प्रूव की। नोबेल प्राइज मिला उनको 2500 years back, महावीर और बुद्ध ने उसकी बात की। खत्म नहीं होता यहाँ पर, बात क्या कर रहा हूँ, that सिद्धीज और वरुण जो बात की वो बहुत सही कह रहा है। We have to change our approach to where we are. If we don't change our approach to where we are, we may just lose everything. But वरुण की बात में एक बात भी हमें जाननी है कि स्टीव जॉब्स, नारायण मूर्ति, टोनी रॉबिन्स कहाँ जाते हैं शांति के लिए? इंडिया में। क्या सीखते हैं? धर्म। कैसे करते हैं? मेडिटेशन। स्टीव जॉब खुद कहता है once in every 6 months I take off to do mindful meditation. Why? Because he says where technology stops, that's when meditation starts my life all over again. And to answer your question, to wrap it up, मैम जो भी सिचुएशन है आप ये बात ध्यान में रखना, जो हो रहा है उसको देखना ही मेडिटेशन है। प्रतिक्रिया करना मेडिटेशन नहीं है, एनालाइज करना मेडिटेशन नहीं है, रिएक्ट करना मेडिटेशन नहीं है, मैं कम कर लूँ मैं ज़्यादा कर लूँ मेडिटेशन नहीं है। ये हो रहा है, ये अवस्था है, बस करो। शरीर दुख रहा है, दुख, थॉट्स आ रहे हैं, आने दो। मुझे निरवस्था में जाना ऐसा कोई नहीं है, मुझे सिर्फ देखना है। क्या देखना है? जो हो रहा है वही सम्यक दर्शन है।
जो विचार आए वो देखते रहे उसको।
वो आए और जाए, वो आए और जाए, वो आए और जाए कहते हैं। एंड कभी और आप मुझे मिलेंगे आज के सेशन के बाद भी, तो मैं आपको सत्य के दर्शन कराने का जो रास्ता है उसमें आपको अग्रसर करने के लिए जरूर कोशिश करूँगा। आई शुड स्पीक अ लॉट ऑफ इंग्लिश, ओनली इंग्लिश। आई नेवर स्पोकन हिंदी until 2.5 years ago। और आज हिंदी भाषा में बात करने में बहुत गर्व महसूस होता है कि ऐसे ऐसे शब्द, मन इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन ही नहीं है, क्षण इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन ही नहीं है। तो दैट्स वाई we are just way beyond संस्कृत, प्राकृत, हिंदी भाषा, हमारे संस्कार, माँ बाप के प्रति प्यार, न जाने क्या क्या। Don't forget, the Western culture has over 75% people above 50 years experiencing depression. Why? Loneliness. That's why Indian culture brings about a process of interdependence. Human being is interdependent, animals are not. And which is why we are who we are. We should just love and appreciate that.
जो अप्रिशिएट करते हैं तो वो दूसरे में भी रिलीज होता है जब अपन अप्रिशिएट करते हैं
दोनों को
होता है।
एब्सोल्युटली, इसीलिए कहते हैं सासू माँ का माँ बनाना है तो उसको अप्रिशिएट करना शुरू करो।
पर ये अच्छा आपने बताया कि जो अप्रिशिएट करता है उसको भी होता है, क्योंकि आजकल लोग अप्रिशिएट करते ही नहीं।
बहुत कम हो गया, बहुत कम हो गया। Any questions? I would love if Varun has one or two questions. Varun के लिए कोई questions हो? I'd love to hear this man. I love his energy, I love his thought process. जो इसने achieve किया है काबिले तारीफ। अगर मैं आपकी जगह होता तो इसकी स्पीच के बाद मैं इसको स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन जरूर देता। अभी भी दे सकते हैं। He's really good. I mean, what way you have achieved that? Absolutely. Guys, come on, एक जोरदार ताली हो जाए इसके लिए। That's such a young guy. What amazing energy, what thought process, what clarity, and how he achieved that stuff. Varun, I'm a big fan of yours.
I'm a big fan.
मुझे entrepreneur बनना है भाई।
Thank you.
So, please, last question, and I think we can proceed.
Hi, Rahul.
Yeah.
I have one question. Like you said that all of us have some talent and we come to know at some point that this is what, we are in this world to do this,
Yes.
This is the question most of the children have.
Yes.
Like, they are not satisfied with what is happening and they always say, when will I come to know कि मुझे actually exactly क्या करना है? Because I'm still wondering, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and you know, even children who are really accomplished, they keep saying, yeah, I've not found out exactly what my passion is, you know. How do you...
I would love to that question, but I would love Varun to answer that because he talks about career and passion in children.
I think
Yes,
add
yes.
something to that question. I think what generally, what is the desire is that how can you convert from your success for our children? I think that would help.
what did you say, Nikita?
No, I'm just
मैंने आप दोनों की बात समझी.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, Rahul, how do we ensure this that a child has reached a point where he knows this is what he wants to do in life? मैम ने ये कहा कि राहुल मे बी एक क्वेश्चन को हम ऐसे ले सकते हैं कि आप दोनों अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस से ये कहिए कि हम बच्चों के लिए क्या मैसेज दे सकते हैं. हम दोनों को लेंगे एंड मे बी दिस इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन देन विल ट्राई टू रैप इट अप बट आई वुड लव टू हियर वरुण's view on this first.
Yeah, I think the main reason why people are not happy, and especially children, is because everybody's trying to force their version of success on everyone else. For me, I have a very different version of what meditation is. For me, meditation is being happy. People meditate to run away from something, right? But if you're happy, you don't need to meditate. Meditation was invented for the fact that people, and the reason why meditation has come back is people have such stressful lives, and people are going through a lot of mindful disorders and all of that. And why is that happening? One singular reason: you care too much about what other people think. Why do you want somebody to appreciate you? What? You don't need that, right? You should appreciate yourself. Why do you want somebody to appreciate you? Why do you give a damn? Right? I walk into the room and I think I am the best and I'm good. And I don't need somebody to tell me that I'm good. Because that sets in a sense of inferiority complex. To always say, oh, you're good. I don't give a damn if you think I cook well. I think I cook well. Right? So you should cook well and not wait for your husband to tell you whether you cook well. You should be like, you should be happy that I cook for you because I think I cook the best. Right? Whether you like it or not. Yeah. So don't try to seek appreciation because like the lady said, nobody in this world is going to appreciate you. Right? No matter how much you try to, you know what? I'm pretty sure all you ladies are going to go and try to like be all nice to your husband now and cook and all of that. He's not going to give a damn because he was not here. You know, what are you doing? Why are you suddenly becoming a different person? Right? Because we are as human beings built like that. Right? Now coming to your question about success and passion.
Not success. I'm talking about the children saying, ki, when will I like this, I like this, I like this. But how will I realize this is my true calling?
That's because because our definition of success is working in an investment bank or a definition of success.
I'm not talking about success.
No. So passion is relevant to success, right? So parents are like, oh, you have to become an engineer and go to IIT or an IIM and then work in a big company. That's a definition of success, right? But what if the guy wants to write poems, right? And trust me, alternative careers in India right now make more money than regular careers. A stand-up poet makes about 3 lakh rupees a month, and an engineer makes 50,000 rupees a month, right? A public speaker makes a lot of money in a month, right, compared to an engineer or a doctor. Unless you let them decide what they truly want to be without the restriction of what society thinks, right? See, this is another problem that I have with the Indian culture, that society, right? It's like, log kya kahenge? Log kya kahenge? Log kya kahenge? Every one of you I know goes and tells you, log kya kahenge? Why do you care about log kya kahenge? Right? Why do you care about what other people think about you? Log kya kahenge? Oh, tum to painting kar rahe ho, log kya kahenge? Oh, tum bahar party ja rahe ho, log kya kahenge? That is their nirvana, that is their meditation. That's what gives them calm. That's what keeps them happy. That's what gives them happiness. Right? My mom used to love listening to music and she loved dancing. She never did that for 30 years. She started meditating. And I said, don't meditate. Go out and dance. Go out and listen to music. That's a meditation. Right? You're meditating because you're stressful that you can't listen to music and dance. Right? So the thing is, unless you let your children be, unless you tell them, you know what, I don't care what this chacha or this chachi or this uncle or this anuwati thinks, you do what you think makes you happy.
No, Varun, I'm talking about that.
So let me see if I can add to what Varun said, picking up from where he left in his presentation as well. Varun spoke about in his speech that teach your children how to develop good life skills. एक बार आपने वो कर दिया तो बाकी स्किल बच्चा पिकअप कर ही लेगा. बहुत अच्छी बात है. इसको हम एनालाइज करते हैं. Maybe you will find your answer. And जैसे रीता जी आपने कहा, I'll also leave with my own experiences. दो चीज समझाता हूँ। नंबर 1, बच्चों को खुश रहना सिखाना है, जैसे इन्होंने कहा हैप्पीनेस। अगर बच्चा हैप्पी है तो सब कुछ है। सी हाउ आई चेंज योर परसेप्शन नाउ। आपका बच्चा क्या करे ये आपकी सोच है। मेरा एक दोस्त है, उसकी 10 साल की डॉटर है, परसों बॉम्बे मिलने गया था, सैटरडे को बॉम्बे मिलने गया था। 10 साल की डॉटर को ब्लड कैंसर हो गया। उसका प्रश्न ये नहीं कि मेरी बेटी क्या बनेगी, क्या करेगी। उसका प्रश्न ये है कि मेरी बेटी को खुशी कैसे दे। मेरा एक मित्र है, उसके 3 फ्रेंड्स हैं और 3 बच्चे थे। तीनों बच्चे एक ही एक्सीडेंट में मर गए। 3 साल पहले की बात है, न्यूज़पेपर में आपने पढ़ा होगा। बहुत रईस है, बहुत रईस, बैंगलोर की फैमिली है। अगर आज मैं उनको पूछूं कि आपका प्रश्न क्या होगा, तो वो ये नहीं कहेंगे कि मेरे बच्चे क्या बने, वो ये पूछते मेरे बच्चों को खुशी कैसे। परिभाषा बदल, मैं आ रहा हूँ, आपके क्वेश्चन को एक अच्छे तरीके से समझा सकूं ताकि सब लोग इस बात को जान पाए। We have to learn to understand that as parents it is our responsibility that we show our children the right path. And the right path is not only in your academic education. That's what Varun has already said. It's profound what he's saying because he's a living example of that. But not everybody is as lucky as Varun is to be able to find a path so quickly and so easily. दो परिभाषा है, one the life that we live in and one the life we don't understand, जिसको आप कहते हैं एस्ट्रोलॉजी, न्यूमरोलॉजी वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। ये सबका साइंस है जो आज बात नहीं करेंगे। बट आई वांट टू नो, सम किड्स पिक अप फास्ट, सम डोंट पिक अप, सबकी क्षमता अलग है, सबके एस्पेक्ट्स अलग है, सबका पुरुषार्थ अलग है। अनदर अमेजिंग स्टफ। बच्चों को खाली ये सिखाना है कि सुख किस में है। व्हाट इज बीइंग अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। मेरे गुरु वल्लभ जी जो बिलियनर है, मुझे ये नहीं सिखाते कि पैसे कैसे कमाना है, नेताजी, वो मुझे ये सिखाते कि अच्छे कैसे बनना है। He says, "All be a good human being, everything else follows after that. Just be a good human being. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Be a good human being. Be a good human being. अच्छा बनो, mindful बनो, aware बनो, पुरुषार्थ करो. Be a good human being." बच्चों को वो सिखाना है। सक्षम बनाओ ये बात कर रहे हुए। Let your children be capable of being on their own. जॉब और करियर की बात करते हैं। करियर और जॉब आते जाते रहेंगे, चेंज होते रहेंगे। ये बंदा आपके सामने है। Am I successful in your definition? Yes or no? Yes. Do you know I failed in second PUC because I did science? Science was not my subject. I did 1 year of arts, fashion designing. That was not my subject. I did a career counseling concept, and I got to know that I could be a good speaker and social worker. That's what I focused on. But it all happened over a period of time. If you can give your child scientific assessment, but also a lot of focus on how to be a good human being, showing the concept of happiness. मेरे 12 दोस्तों ने जैन दीक्षा ली है। Youngsters from Harvard, youngsters from IIT, they've taken Diksha. I interview them. You should see some of them on videos on YouTube. मैं ये question पूछता हूँ कि why did you take this path when you were earning 60 lakh rupees last year? When you had a great job in America, what inspired you? The answer was not I was unhappy. The answer was that I could see way beyond where happiness is, and I chose this path. Everybody has a choice. मेरा एक दोस्त है, उसके 2 बच्चे, दोनों दीक्षा लिए, माँ बाप खुद दीक्षा ले रहे हैं। What's the point I'm trying to say? Is that every person should be given a choice कि आप तेंदुलकर बनो, आप शाहरुख खान बनो, या आप महावीर बनो, या आप बुद्ध बनो. Choice is yours. And remember, failure, more failures, and more failures will help them get more and more and more clarity. Don't be in a hurry. It's a beautiful, nice, big life. Enjoy the moment. Even if the kids do nothing but they become good human beings, I think that was life worth living.
That's a great. That's a great.
बस आज का सेशन समाप्त करते हैं.
Just to add the last, how to discover your passion. I think that was your question, right? How does somebody find your passion? Just try. Well, I've discovered one of the best ways to find your passion is to travel, and I don't mean holiday, like travel. Go to a different country or a different city. Just experience the cultures, experience the people alone, not preferably with somebody else. That's one way. Second thing is to keep trying different things. The best thing about finding your passion is like having a crush on somebody, right? When you actually discover your passion, you're obsessed with it, right? And you can't think of anything else. So keep trying different things, but when you discover that passion, then like the gentleman was saying, what is moksha, what is nirvana? I think that's nirvana, that's moksha, because you feel happy all the time. It's like that feeling when you're in love, right? You feel happy all the time. Oh my God, I'm in love, I'm in love. That's the same thing with passion. When you discover what your passion is, you just feel that you're in love. And I think that is the ultimate happiness. At least for the current sense of what you feel.
It was indeed our pleasure to hear from you, sirs. I request the chairperson.
सॉरी क्या बोला सर? वो मैडम क्या नाम है आपका? एक्स प्रेसिडेंट, एक्स चेयरमैन, हाँ एक्स चेयर, वो कहती है दोनों बच्चों को कहाँ से लेके आए? Sorry, I just disturbed you.
I request the chairperson, Ms. Meena Jain, to present a memento to Mr. Kapoor and Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal. I would like to invite Ms. Raj Neeral to propose the vote of thanks.
On behalf of FICCI Ladies Organization and the entire team, I, Raj Neeral Baguta, extend a heartfelt thank to you and our esteemed speakers, Mr. Rahul Kapoor and Mr. Varun Agarwal. Many thanks to Ms. Neeta ji, past President FLO and our founder chairperson, and to all the past chairs for their continued support and guidance. A big thank to all the members and to the entire committee for their participation. Last but not least, thank you to all the media for the support. And thank you everyone. We invite you for the high tea served in the lobby and the media for interaction. Thank you.